Can you see it now? I got it on the screen. Uh-oh. There we go. I hate to do it like this, y'all. Greetings, everybody.
Greetings.
Let me make sure. All right. I just got it kind of pointing at everybody kind of up close here. I'm going to move it in so we can get this recorded here. I'm supposed to have like 6. It's supposed to be about, greetings everybody. Y'all are watching me film live the green flags of the black woman, the black man, black love is law, because I'm trying to find out how to record this and save it. So y'all are watching it up close and personal. With Kem Arts, your host. Greetings everybody. I got a couple of brothers and sisters out here that got 10 plus or more years in spirituality and knowing what positive things we can discuss about our relationships between the black man and the black woman, namely, but for whoever it fits, it fits. Of course, y'all take what resonate as usual. I just basically had enough of all the red flag talk. I was like, I'm about to crack up. I'm tired of hearing about red flag. Y'all, if we know the law of attraction, and we know, y'all, that if we're going to concentrate on, where's my jack holder at? If we're going to be just talking about red flag this, red flag that, well, y'all, we know what the law of attraction, whatever you focus on and give attention to, that's what you're going to bring more in. You know what I'm saying? So if we wanted to change with relationships in general, or hold on, y'all, I'm trying to plug this in so I can get my where's that thing at? Hold on, y'all. We know we gotta change to the positive and not focus on the negative of our relationships. I think we all, for any race of people, have experienced hurt, you know, one way or the other. You know, we know that's a given. Everybody, I'm missing something, ain't I? Hold on, y'all. Hello? Oh, that's much better. I think we all have had our heart broken and things like that before, been, you know, abandoned, neglected, abuse, emotional, physical, psychological, things like that. But I have everybody's name down. So I'm gonna let y'all just introduce. I think everybody can get about 25 to 30 minutes. I had 7. I don't know where my other brother Michael went, but I wrote down what he texted me this morning. So I'll read what he quoted back to me, and I was like, because he's really old school. Like he's from New York, so he's been in the game old school for a long time. And I'll read what he says later. So we'll just do ours, and then I'll read ours later. So it's about 7 and 8 with my daughter, but she's just kind of watching, I think. Hi, madam. Hi, Mason. We got Wendy, Emmanuel. Oh, girl, you just a child. You just my daughter. No, I'm just playing. Hi, Kiana. I was on her nerves this morning, y'all, trying to set this mess up. Hi, YouTube. Y'all are watching it live. I am not looking at my screen, so y'all can chit chat down there in the bottom all y'all want. I can't see it because my phone is turned backwards. I just wanted to record everybody on the screen so that everybody can see what everybody look like. But we got about 25 to 30, maybe 30 minutes we probably do, because I booked it for 3.5 hours. So we good. We got to about 6:30. You know, going back and forth or dialoguing on what's positive. And if we do say something negative and you just got opinion, we just want to keep it positive, but not focus on the negative. But if it comes up in your conversation, that's okay, because it could be part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's still a part of the experience. You call me? What do you mean? No, they don't. I mean, long as they don't. Oh yeah, to talk so we can hear. Yeah. You can mute if you got background. Here comes Corinne. Here comes Cookie. There's one more. I knew it was somebody I was missing. Hey there. Hey there, Cookie. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna let y'all introduce yourself, starting with Emmanuel. You can just introduce yourself. Um, so that everybody will know who's. We got a mixed panel here, whatever everybody's experiencing. My main topic was Black love because we got a lot of Black dating coaches out there, and everybody's focusing on red flag, red flag, red flag. And you missed it, Corinne. I was talking about if we focus on the negative, that's what we're going to keep getting because that's the law of attraction. So that's why I said green flags, Black love, Black man and woman, Black love. Black love is law. So it's the first love, that darkness, right? So that's the law, right? So no gender, no pointing fingers, just positive dialogue or, your experience with whatever love, whatever couple, it doesn't even matter. But mainly for our people, because we need more experiences on talking about what's positive, like the Hustables, okay? We know that was TV, but you know what I'm saying? It is some positive Black women and men relationships out there. So I'm gonna start and let y'all introduce yourself. Thank y'all all for participating and volunteering. Everybody wanted, when I posted it, everybody was like, hey, I'll do it, I'll do it. So I ain't bribed nobody, y'all. They all said, I'll do it. And I said, okay. I just wanted 10 plus years in spirituality and knowing, the ego and knowing the feminine and knowing the masculine energies, cosmic dance together, yin yang, whatever we want to call it. I just wanted somebody that was more mature and different panel people, like men and women, different walks of life, so that people out there looking at all these dating coaches videos and TikToks can say, wait a minute, I have been getting nothing but negative because that's all you've been collecting was red flags. So if you focusing on the negative, you're going to keep getting the negative. It's like 1 + 1 equal, okay. So now we're going to change that. So here's Emmanuel. Introduce yourself, whatever you want to say. We'll go around the room first, and then I'll point out. I may point out some things. I may not, because I really don't. I mean, I already know, but I may say a few things that I didn't. I may just let y'all talk and not say nothing at all. But, because my mouth run enough. So, okay, introduce yourself first, everybody, starting with Emmanuel.
Hello?
I don't know if they can hear this thing. Hold on. I don't know if Facebook can hear it though. Hold on. I might have to take my headphones off. Yeah, I think I do. I don't think they're gonna hear that. Okay, now let me go. I'm gonna have to go without my headphones. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. I didn't think y'all could hear or not.
We can hear. We on the clock, Keisha. Come on now.
I mean, he can. Is he finished? You can go to the next one.
Are you finished, Emmanuel, or are you gonna pass it over?
Go ahead.
Oh, somebody else? I don't know who you had in plan for next, Mom.
Madame can be next, or Madame, and then
Greetings.
LLC.
This is Madame. Can you hear me? Okay, wonderful. So I grew up in a two-parent household, and the male of the house definitely walked in his divine masculine, and the female in the house definitely walked in her feminine divineness. And growing up in that kind of household set the precedence for all of us that was growing up in the house. And so for me, self-awareness is the number one thing when it comes to self-love and Black love. And both of my parents are from the continent, Angola and Ghana. And so I'll pass on to the next person.
All right, LLC. Who is that? Wendy? Wendy's on her way home. Wendy, you still there?
I'm sorry. I'm still driving. I'm sorry. Can I go last? Cause I'm
okay.
I'm like trying to get somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Wendy. All right, Mason.
Mic check. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. My stage name is Mason Gone with Mama Nature. And my famous quote is, if you treat a woman right, she'll feed you, she'll clothe you, she'll bathe you. I ain't talking about you ladies right there, you beautiful queens. I'm talking about Mother Nature. Because everything we use on this earth, on her earth, comes from her. So, in turn, if we treat y'all right at the same time, y'all do the same thing. So, I grew up in a single parent home. My mother taught me I didn't like it as a kid, but she taught me how to plant. And that's what I do now is I teach kids how to plant, take them out in the woods, show them natural things, how they can live off the land. As far as spirituality goes, I've been in it since 96, 97. Different topics on herbalism, and that's what I teach the kids. So getting back to the root of everything is nothing better than your health. And if you healthy inside, everything you say, everything you do, it brings healthy things back to you. So it's what I'm about. So if I can bring anything, and then plus I've been married 28 years. 28 long years. So, it's been shaky, it's been rocky. But not having a father in my life, it's a big thing. But my mother did a damn good job, so I ain't gonna complain.
That's right.
So, and then again, everybody can't get along. So, found that out later in life that sometimes people just have to separate. But if you're a man, if you're a woman, and you have a child on this earth, no matter what, you need to do your best to take care of that child, no matter what each other thinks about each other. So pass it on to the next one. Mason Gone with Mama Nature.
All right, Mason. All right. Kiana, are you saying anything or are you watching? I guess.
Well, I'm well.
Watching. Okay, Corinne?
No, I said I was going to say something rude.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Oh. Hi, everybody. I'm the spawn of this beautiful woman here. The one you all know as Kem Arts. And I work behind the scenes on everything. The one she bugs about everything that has to get done. So that's me. So if you have any questions, most likely I will be the one answering them. But that's okay, because I get shit done. Y'all have a beautiful time in this beautiful chat. I'll just be here taking notes and stuff and correcting her when she needs to be. Next.
All right, Corinne.
Well, grand afternoon to everybody, and thank you for putting this together. What a beautiful opportunity and a blessing to sit and dialogue with everybody. So I just wanted to start off with that. And then, so I'm Corrine, and Cookie, as my stage name goes. I grew up in a two-parent household where the divine masculine was 100% in his role, and the divine feminine was 100% in her role. And they were of different races, because my dad is Black and my mother is white. And my father was, he was second generation born out of slavery. And, his father was first born into that Reconstruction. And I think a lot of that really came through in how they raised us. And with a lot of strength, but at the same time, my father used to say, when you get married, Dad, I'm not getting married. I got goals. And he's like, okay, that's good. Don't ever be dependent on a man. So there was like two sides of him. There was encouraging, but also you got to get married. You got to get married. That's tradition. And my mother was a lovely person and definitely had her things that certainly impacted me as a woman. And that's for now or maybe later in our discussions. But I started my spiritual walk 2000. I literally spent a summer. I was 25. I spent a summer out disconnected from all types of social media. And I spent 2.5 months reading books. I read 30 books, didn't watch any TV, didn't watch any news, any radio, but spent that kind of out in the woods in a cabin. The only time I interacted with people was when I was working. And then so my walk began there. And I am in education as my profession. I'm not a teacher per se, but I do some other things. And I just want to offer some perspective in that arena, and what happens with our young people. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Corinne. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate everybody being here. So some common things we hear, like I said, with a lot of the pointing fingers and 50-50 or 100-100 and, bringing stuff to the table. And really all it is do you know yourself? At the end of the day, and you're in a relationship or you're starting to be in a relationship, you really want the person to know themselves, know the traumas, have dealt with them or started to deal with them or are in the process of dealing with them. And because that comes into play in relationships. And little did I know, because when I got married back when, I was only 19. And that was unheard of. And it was 22 years. 22 years at 19, lasting 22 years. That was a world record right there. So I already know the ins and outs of relationship and where relationships can go. And when it's time, if there's nothing else that can be fixed, like Mason said, you have to sometimes destiny is for the children or for your lesson, and then it takes you somewhere else. And when you got someone that is not going to participate, then you're kind of forced, because it's like, what else can you do? Beat your head upside the wall and knock yourself out, or you just kind of pick yourself up, invest in yourself and get yourself together and go on your path. So long story short, I know the positive, I know the negatives, I know the projections. I know when there's mama issues or daddy issues. Now that looking back, I do, because I'm on a spiritual path, which I've been on a spiritual path for 15 years, right at 15 years, even before I even got divorced. It was already creeping in, Okay, it was already on the way in. It was like, I'm like Korean. It was somewhere when I really got it. I think it was like right before I lost my father, in 2004. So it was between the 2000 and 2004 mark, going on that journey. Used to be a Christian, got out of that stuff. And boy, it really kicked in when I got out of Christianity. I ain't gonna lie. That ain't for everybody to do that, but that was the way it hit me. When I put that down for a minute, baby, I took off. When I say I took off in spirituality, when I took a break from that Christian stuff, that brainwashing, because I had to sit there and say, now, wait a minute, if it's a God up there, why would God want me to be heartbroken, miserable, confused, crazy, lunatic? Why would this much pain, this much heartache, this much unhappiness? I don't want that God. I think I'm gonna have to forfeit that joker. I'm gonna get this one back, okay? Because I know you didn't put me on this earth to go through this. You know what I'm saying? But that's what you gotta kind of do. You gotta kind of focus and know. But back then at 19, who knows? No woman knows they self at 19. No little girl knows they self. And it's not our parents' fault or our father's fault that they didn't school us enough, or they didn't have what it take, or they had their own issues and challenges, just like we all got our own issues and challenges. And so, I was supposed to be setting this. And so we have to just learn and grow as we go along. And the main thing is that you're growing. If you're not growing, something's wrong. Something's absolutely wrong with that, because you're in a marriage or relationship to grow you, to shape you. That experiences prepares you for the future. And it certainly has. It has prepared me for today. Okay, so I already know it has prepared me. That's why I'm right here today. Okay. So I just want to say, what should we look for in a positive, healthy relationship of a black man and a black woman? And the thing with, everybody collecting the red flags, but nobody's talking about the positive of any relationship, man or woman, no matter your color or race, but specifically the black family. Because of welfare, because of child support, because of the single parent and the single fathers out there, the black men taking care of their children because the woman want to run the street. So we got single brothers out there doing it too. And I'm not going to take no credit for them either, because they do an absolutely good job. I've had a couple of friends like that. And they were raising girls. They wasn't just raising boys. I met some that raised boys or shared it with their mother, the grandmother, but the son had them, but the grandmother kind of, the dude's mother kind of helped. But then I had some that it was basically just them, raising the daughters. So I've seen it, having a stepfather, then being raised, not being raised by my real father, but by a stepfather that was cuckoo as all get out, but, other than that, I've seen the ins and out in relationships, and I know it's a projection thing, huh?
Humane Light LLC said she's parked now. If you want her to circle back and do her introduction.
We'll get to her. I don't want to lose my thought now. I'll come back around and get to her. When I go to Emmanuel, then we'll go down to her. She'll get a little bit longer. So we've seen the ins and out. We've seen the Huxtables. We know that was entertainment, but that was a positive role of, it is black families out there and other families and other races that do get along and do have positive influences on their children's life. And even if they were single, even if they were not single or anything like that, that it still was a positive experience, because mama always made a way. Daddy almost always made a way. So we need to recognize the healthy signs, and the roles. It's the roles reversal that's going on. The roles, the duties, the responsibilities, the behaviors. What do we do as good housewives, and what do we do as positive fathers in the home, right? Because nobody's emphasizing what that is about. The woman is the inside. Now, if I take it spiritual, which y'all know I am, because that's me. So if I took it spiritual for those, then spiritual is woman organs are inside, right? They're inside. She has a womb. They're inside. That womb represents her home. A man is outside, right? So the man's testicles and stuff, phallic, represents what? Outside the house, because it's on the outside. So if you put that little spiritual symbolism together, then it says the woman role and duty is inside the house, and the man's duty and role is outside the house. And what I mean by that is the yard work, taking the trash out, fixing the cars, taking the cars to get gas, little stuff like that. And then y'all do stuff together as a couple, you know. And a lot of talk about should it be 50-50 or 100-100 or a percentage is a whole nother factor, because that's something I feel we agree on or disagree on as the couple, depending on how many children y'all have, what your objective is for a household. Do you want a medium $150,000 house? Do you want a $200,000, or do you want a $500,000 house? Well, shoot, if your spouse ain't making enough to sustain a $500,000 and y'all want that, then yeah, you might have to work outside the house as a woman. But then we really shouldn't stress ourselves out with living above the means of what we can afford either. And a healthy family wouldn't do that. A healthy family would stay inside of what they could live off of in one salary, right? That's typical if we're not keeping up with the Joneses. And that wouldn't be healthy, because then I feel like that's where you get the friction and things not working right, and that stress on the couple because you overextended yourself. It's nothing wrong with us wanting the nice things, the nice neighborhood, the gated communities, but if it's going to strain the relationship, then we're not there yet. And I think that's a part that we don't look at as a couple, us not really being financially there yet, and not being able to live off of one salary and bank the other or invest the other one for stocks, real estate, you know, get into some type of business. And that's another thing. A healthy relationship with anybody, you guys know your life purpose, for one. You know who you are, for one. And you may have a business coming in. Both of you may have a business coming in, and you may make a business, create a business together in the middle of that marriage somewhere where you just don't want to be working and want to really put something together your own to have a legacy or build something. So it's a lot of different issues, and I feel like that because we're focusing on the negative, that's what we're creating. And if we focus on the positive of green families, like what do we do right? We need to talk about what do we do right in the relationship. We're supposed to listen to each other. You know, we're supposed to hear each other, be patient with each other, not yell and hoop and holler, right? Those are just things, you know, be able to understand pressure from the outside and don't come back and project it on the inside of the house. And that was what I liked about the Huxtables. You never saw that. And they had lawyer and doctor is very strenuous roles. And you can imagine the amount of stress Huxtables went under, one being a lawyer and one being a doctor, but they were always sweet to each other. No matter what happened on the outside, you don't come in and project on the person inside. Like Mason said, you take care of Mama Nature on the outside. She gives us everything. If you respect the woman, then that woman will be there to shelter and support. And that man will be there to what? Protect and support. And it's just a everyday life of jobs and stress and environmental. We can go on, but I'm not getting into that. What causes it? Yeah, we all know what causes it, outside factors and stuff. But that's not the thing. The thing is still you have to know how to talk to each other. And you have to have your life purpose. Because if you don't have your life purpose, that's a part of the problem. And what my thing is, I got tired of hearing about the problem, but nobody was coming with a positive solution to fix what these red flags was. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, no. We're going to have to, no. These young children like my daughter in her 20s, mid-20s, they need positive influences, how to make it work. We've already made the mistake. What did we all learn from that mistake that we made, or that lesson? Not really a mistake, but a lesson. What did we learn that we can pass on to them besides the negative? You know, what did we learn? How did they get away with it? Do you go to coaching? You can try that. Can you go to the pastor? You can try that. You can try whatever it is, okay? But I'm saying for positive relationship and solutions, it's going to take both. So it's no pointing the finger as the problem of being one or the other, when it took both together to make the problem. So it has to be both to what? Create the solution. And so we need to just come in with more creative ideas on how to make it work. I'm not saying fairy tale-ish, make believe and, blowing things up. And yeah, money is good, but people's spirit is even better. And I feel like when you know a person's spirit, when you know a person's soul, that's a big bonus. And we've gotten in relationships where we didn't know a person because we hopped in the bed, right? Like Fred and Frida, we in the bed. We just going straight to the bed. Well, you don't even get to know who you're sleeping with. At that point, you don't get to know who you're sleeping with. So that says a lot. That says a lot about the relationship, because we're not even making room to know a person without non-sexual contact. And then we're broken by a person moving around to somebody else. So that's not the way we want this younger generation of 20s and 30s peoples to think, that you can be out there, willy-nilly, and there's no repercussions behind it. Because I guarantee you, karma will get you either way it go, whether it's in your 40s, whether it's in your 50s, whether it's in your 60s, or whether it's in your 70s. Because the more you abuse the feminine and the masculine energies with no respect to their heart, doing harm to a person, not really being sincere about having a commitment out of it, and not being openly honest about that, that's what is doing the most damage out here. I feel that is leading to all this, I just want somebody to take care of me. Okay, but you ain't even took care of you. We got mama daddy issues, we got abandonment issues, we got neglect issues, we got abuse on every type of level issue. Okay, we got grandmama's issues, and we got her grandmama issues and mama issues. We got generations. And the thing is, we got to distinguish what thoughts are theirs against what ours are at the moment we're living. And once you can figure out what's their thoughts against your thoughts, that's even more half the solution right there. Because a lot of that is projections from there that we're taking out here, and we're shoving them on somebody else to sweep it under the rug and not deal with it. And that's a big problem. Men need to listen, and it's not what you're not listening. You're not listening. No, what is she saying that you're not hearing? So we have to be aligned with the person that you're choosing. We have to make sure that that's somebody that you want to share your life with, in every capacity. And we have to be vulnerable. Yeah, we have to be intimacy. Right? We want to be affectionate. We want time. We want attention. We want. But the thing is, how can you get that when you jump in the sack? If you're jumping in the sack first, then there's nothing else to get. There's nothing to get. So we just defeated the whole purpose of, I want somebody to take care of me. I want somebody to, to do this and do that and do this. And I got this, and I want 6 figures, and I got 6 figures. And if you're matching it on money, that's like you matching it on sacks. That's you matching on. Okay, so what happens when that person loses a job and you don't have 6 figures twice? You got 1. Then what? Do you bail? Do you tough it out? Do you help them pay the bills until they find a job? Are you supportive? Are you encouraging? See, it's all that stuff that people are not. They just want service to self, not service to others, service to self. Greedy, self-gratification, but they're not looking about, okay, what if you lose your job? Is he going to leave you? I had a client that she I don't want to give her stuff away, but she had a stroke, and the man left. So I'm talking about stuff like that, the real stuff. So when you base it off of money and houses and 6 figures, what happens when you get down in your health? Are you going to be there for that person that you said you married? Are you going to be there when that person gets sick? Are you going to be there when that person can't find a job for 6 months? Are you going to be there, you know what I'm saying, if whatever happens? And it's like, so why did you marry again? For sex and money. Those
are the main 2 problems, though.
And that's what breaks.
Divorcing.
That's right. And
divorcing.
That's right. And those are the problems for the divorce statistics: money and infidelity. It ain't there no more. The passion ain't there no more. Well, guess what? The passion couldn't have really been there at first anyway, because you started out with it, so it burned out. So
statistic wise, what they asking though?
Exactly. You got to consider the source. You're right, Mason. You got to consider the source on that one. You know, where are they getting this stuff from? So I think, you know, we're going to keep love alive. I'm going to be having more of these discussions and conversations and stuff and different topics and all across the board. But I just had to open it up with this one because this one was like, my blood started to boil. Like, I was like, because even no matter if you have a divorce, I can pick out good things and I can pick out bad things. I can pick out both faults. I can't just pick out and say it was his fault and not my fault. He shouldn't say it was just all her fault and not some of his fault. Because I told y'all the other day on the live that we mirror, men project and the women mirror. So when there's something that they're doing that happens on the outside, they'll come home and project, and then it'll reflect off of her, and she'll mirror whatever that is because we absorb and y'all project, right? Which is, if you go spiritually and the anatomy, the ejaculation is the what? Projection. And we are the what? Screen, or we're the mirror, and we go give it back. So if you come home funky and I ain't got myself together and you got an attitude, I'm gonna have an attitude. Cause I'm be like, you just got here. What happened to, hi babe, how you doing? It was a rough day. I need to step away. I need to go in the office for a minute and get myself together because I don't want to, you know, because really the woman didn't have nothing to do with it at that point. And then the woman shouldn't do that either, because we can project too and they can project, because we remember we got both feminine and masculine. So it's always a constant exchange of energy being transferred, no matter who has the stank energy on them or not, or who has the pressure or the stress. It's just how we handle each other under those circumstances, through those 4 seasons, and how we relate without belittling and dethroning and throwing shots, you know, at each other because we're aggravated, whatever happened out there. Even if it's agreement in the house, we still don't have to be unruly, you know, or defensive or attack. And that's the masculine energy. So it is women out there that we know how to be feminine. We know how to be, you know, talk to our men. Every woman out there is not masculine. And that's what I feel that they have capitalized off of, you know, telling us that we're too masculine but when you're in a single role, you are both of them. You're masculine and you're feminine. The only thing about it is we got to know when to be feminine again. And we got to know when to be logical and rational, which is the masculine. We got to know when to be receptive and receiving, which is the feminine energy. So when you got, no matter if you're single or you're with a person on the side of you, or you're a single woman taking care of the family, you know when to be compassionate, you know when to be logical and rational, because you're doing it by yourself anyway. It's just some women probably get stuck in the masculine side and just disregard the feminine side of it. And so that's why we need this discussion, to let them know it's nothing wrong with it. It's just it's not balanced. So we need to help them know how to balance that feminine and masculine energy. Because you can be single all you want. You can have 3 kids, 2 kids, 1 kid. Huh?
How do you balance that?
Sometimes you can't balance it. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes women just do what she got to do because she's there to take care of that child. And it's not about the mother no more. It's about that child.
Survival.
Yeah.
That's right.
So mom with 3.
But
how do you?
I do it, staying grounded, staying focused, listening, being attentive to me, knowing when to back off. Y'all saw it. You saw it growing up. Oh, I'll get in your butt. I might do a lot of barking, right? My bark is worse than my bite with them. And I just did it mostly for bluffing. You know, you better get your butt in there and sit down. But I wasn't going to do nothing. I wasn't even going to swat a fly. You know,
but you know, you get on my ass when I do that.
Well, now
that's why I'm like, so how do I? Because we already know I ain't finna do nothing.
Because to me, she too rough. She too rough. You know, I think it's because I got older now. I got a little more softer. But I be like, girl, stop yelling at my grandbabies like that. They don't deserve that. They just babies. They don't know. They don't know. You know, I'm like heartbroken. I guess that's the granny role.
These children are so mean to me.
But it's a constant a shifting that we do, and we have to really, and you're right, Mason, we do go in that survival mode because we got to provide. We got to provide for us. We got to provide for however many children we got. We ain't got time to be feminine. And I'm going to tell y'all what, it is nothing more. I'm going to speak for me. Maybe some others out there. It ain't nothing more than we would rather be in our feminine role. But it's just like what you said, Mason. Sometimes we can't until we get to the area where they're off gone, or they on their own, or they big enough to take care of themselves. Then some of us might relax a little bit. But again, too, we have those men, and I've met some of those men that I'm very safe around. As long as that woman is safe, she can relax. She will let down that masculine energy around the right man. So if a man is not out there not getting a woman to relax and let that masculinity down, that's because she doesn't feel safe. She has to feel safe to let that, because that's a vulnerable spot for a woman. You know, not to be masqueraded or not to be walked all over, abused, but she's not going to let that down around a man that she does not feel safe around. So a man has to have her being in that safe zone, and the woman as well too. The man, in order for the man to open up to the woman, he has to know he can trust her and confide in with his heart. So he has to feel that same assurance and safety that she has to feel. You know, so I'm gonna turn it over. I ain't got but 4 minutes left. So
Ma, he said hi.
hey Tugger, hey Tugger, hey there. And so you know, I just want to focus on the thing, but y'all can say whatever y'all want to talk about. Is fine. I got 4 minutes. Emmanuel, you can go ahead. I'm done. I pretty much said what I'm gonna say off the top of my dome.
You're probably going to need to do more than just this one.
Yeah.
Because spirituality goes real deep. It goes deeper than what we're going through as we see now. It was designed to be complicated. As a human race, we made it worse. We started adding categories and definitions, and LB this and Lil Wayne this, and you know what I mean? We have to break down everything to try to dissect everything to try to understand, and it's not difficult. When you first start out as a child, the world's magical, right? You get introduced to religion, most people. So you believe that there are good things out there, great things out there. And that's what keeps you waking up to the next day. I think as couples, when we meet each other, nowadays everything's so rushed. We want instant gratification. That's correct. But I think as couples, we forget when we meet each other as individuals, as people. We say hello, we introduce each other. The point of that is to get to know one another, because you have personal goals, they have personal goals. When relationships don't work out, it's because you haven't learned yourself and they haven't learned themselves. I don't believe two people can come into union until they understand themselves, until they understand what love is. And that's relying on self, loving self. Relationships are complicated. Like I said, I was married once. I got married when I was 20. I thought I knew everything when I was 19. Everybody does at that age. We think we have the world in our hands. We don't want to hear what anybody else has to say. And a lot of us learn the hard way. I'm from the south side of Chicago. I grew up rather quick. I started when I was 7. I was out the house when I was 14. Been homeless a few times. But in each relationship that I got into, as a child, was for love. Now, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But I work to be better every day. sun up to sundown. Sometimes I'm awake when everybody else is asleep. I might be meditating, I might be praying, studying to better me as a person. And if it wasn't for two good women in my life, my mother, my grandmother, and I do have some good family members as well, I don't think I really would understand rank and love. I don't think that when we think of God and spirituality, we really don't consider the fact that life is created through female energy and male, but I believe it's created through a divine source, our feminine. Because it is woman that knows love, and I believe it's woman that helps man understands what love is. Women are very nurturing and caring. As men, we are stubborn, bullheaded, we go against the system. And it's the woman that kind of brings us to grounding. That's the yin and yang. We need that balance as men. Whether what race you're in or what have you, you have to remember you meet out as individuals. You keep it interested in each other. For me, I like to take my time. I'm not perfect, like I said. I live life, and I try to live life in the present. In alignment there, respectfully. Now, all this I had together as I learned, and I'm glad a lot of you guys are young and learning this now. And listening to some, us older folks telling me. Because this isn't really complicated. We make it complicated when we think that somebody's better than us, somebody has something greater than us, somebody says something negative to us. We forget as kids that magical world that we started out in. The beauty of things. Being that superhero, that cool person, or whatever, Mm-hmm. If you can bring yourself to remember that each and every day, your word, it's easier to get up and love another person. It's easier to get up and actually start out your day for yourself instead of grabbing your cell phone and starting your whole world in anxiety. I think it's important not to follow tarot every day. It's not a religion. This is your tool. This is to help guide you. There are many symbols and signs out there that you can gather to help you in your journey. And if you don't recognize your purpose and the reasoning for your being here and loving yourself and knowing that yourself comes first, you're not going to have the abundance that you look for. And that goes through everything. That goes through taking care of you, your words, your action. Because words are very powerful too. Even the word love. I don't like to use that loosely. If I say that I love you, I mean it. And I will work my butt off to do that. The reason why I've been homeless several times is because I sacrificed. I've gotten into relationships where there were single parents, single mothers. And I went to aid to try to help. Because I like to believe I'm a good man and I do good moral things. That's why I joined the military. That's why I got into other studies. I think everybody should make it a point to try to be a good person each and every day. Take time to love each other, respect each other. Don't be judgmental because everybody goes through their own thing. Everybody has their own way and we have our own strength. And it's up to us to understand each other's strengths without judging. And until we can stop pointing fingers and realize that the system is set up to keep us this way, we're not going to progress. And when I come here to Kim's panel, I notice a lot of you guys say, well, I'm not going back to this guy. I'm never going to have love again and this and that. That's not in alignment. That's not high vibrating.
Exactly. Yep.
Don't say those types of things. You're defeating yourself. You know you're going to love again. You know that's not what you want. So what? It didn't work out with one person. That doesn't mean throw everything away. You know? Sun does come up. There are rainbows. There are good things in this life. If you take time to look at these things, off your phones, off the television, the Netflix, whatever, you start to realize your worth and the beauty around you. I mean, that's all I have to say for now. But it's real deep, guys. It goes real deep.
Yeah, it does. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you. All right, Wendy, you still there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Introduce yourself, and you can go in to talk about your part, and then we'll move to Mason. I didn't want to break my concentration, but you can tell about your experience, 10 plus years or whatever, and then go into the conversation of positive green flags about our marriages and stuff. How did you, if you want to go, how you grew up, if you've been married, it's up to you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? My name is Wendy. I'm in Chicago. I grew up, and I like the way you use the term the Huxtables, because my outlook for the Huxtables was they were a positive balance of life to me. I look at my grandparents as the Huxtables. They were Cliff, and my grandmother was Claire, and my parents were Sandra and Melvin. So I did grow up in a 2-parent household. Nobody was doctors and lawyers, but everybody had different occupations, and they held balance within the family. And I was the niece under my parents, though. So that's just how I looked at things. I don't know, how I ended. I'm not gonna say I don't know how I ended up in my place, but now I'm a single parent. I didn't grow up in that household, but I became one. So a lot of people will look at my family as if we were Huxtables, because we grew up in a part of Chicago called Chattanam, and I went to a school called Foster Park. That school and its name did not resonate till later on in life, when I started to figure out, oh my God, Foster Park was literally a school full of foster and adopted families mixed with families that were 2 household incomes. So it was the mixing of the neighborhood when you develop the middle class and the ghetto. Because when my grandparents first came to this neighborhood, it was whites. So they were one of the first Black families to move in that area. I've always been inquisitive. I want to know things. I did grow up in a Christian household. My parents were elders and evangelists. My father left Christianity, and got out of it. Not left it, but got out of that particular place in 2002. My mother remained, and they did divorce in 2009. So coming up, a lot of people would view us again. They did see us as the Huxtables, and I realized later on when I found out a lot of those children were fostered and adopted. So I got now why they kind of looked at me that way. Then it's the development of me coming up and wanting to fit in also played a part into how I saw the perspective of my family as well. I'm grateful now that I got older, because I started to see my parents kept me from being one of those kids that did school, doing drugs, coming up pregnant at an early age. I didn't see a lot of that. I mean, I saw it, but I didn't go in that direction because of my household. I'm grateful for that. Not saying that a lot of them turned out bad, because a lot of those young women that came up with single family households became very successful raising their families on their own. Me, on the other hand, I didn't have to come up that way. So I look at it as, when I was going through my relationships, why am I not in the marital status that my parents were? So then I have to start taking accountability as well on myself, rather than pointing a finger at the person that I was with. So I was young when I had my daughter. My daughter's about to be 17. I had my daughter at 23. My parents got married at 19. My mom was 19. My father was 24. So I didn't marry young, but I still had my child young. And I think about cycles. And I always said I don't want to, I don't want my daughter to fall into that single family household pattern. So I'm like, man, I got to break it because my father's mother went through that. So then I start thinking about these things as I don't want to, what is it like? They not a curse, but necessarily start a timeline that will revert back from the family, that I know we come from, that we witnessed and we grew up in. My father came from a single family household. My mother came from a two-parent household. So I'm looking like she wanted to continue that. She wasn't expecting to get divorced, but then you got to take an accountability for why y'all got divorced. So now I'm standing in the background looking at all of this, like, man, I'm going through it too. But I was never married, so I'll be 40 next year. So I'm still trying to make sure that I'm doing a job of raising my daughter and my son the best way I can, being respectful. So I did hear about the masculine energy and the feminine. When I think about how I was when I was younger, I used to dress a certain way. Not necessarily saying it was feminine, but it was more whorish. So then you have to think about what is the feminine and masculine energy that you're really trying to tap into. I did grow up in a Christianity household where your skirts have to touch the floor. They don't even do that no more. So it's like different.
Yep.
It's different, but I still hold those values. If I wear a dress, my dress will be long. I will wear some body confident outfits, but I'm still not trying to show all my flesh. I just never been that type of person that I want to just constantly show my flesh. So when I got older and I'm like, I'm going to start going out with my friends, I started taking on that energy. I did become that person. Now I'm like, okay, I'm going to wear this tank top. That tank top turned into a cool top. Things of that nature. So now I did attract the type of company that I really didn't, that I wasn't prepared for. Rather, I thought I wanted that company, but nope, that's not.
At least you're aware of that, though.
Right. But I didn't get aware. I wasn't aware.
There's so many females that do that and aren't aware of it.
Yeah. And I wasn't then though. That's the thing. Like I wasn't aware of it until later on. It's the life lessons. I learned so much. I survived a lot of stuff. So it's like I grew up in Christianity, and when your mother was saying she got out of that Christianity and started soaring, I could tell you that's what happened. I used to always pray anyway and ask for guidance. I always said I want the knowledge of Solomon, Jesus, and it was Solomon, Jesus, and Paul. I wanted that intuition, or that being able to be quick, that quick, answer, or not really answer, but I wanted to be able to solve a lot of stuff that I saw happen that I couldn't explain. But once, when I was in church, I used to always get kicked out of Sunday school when I was younger because I asked the questions that they couldn't answer. And it didn't dawn to me that what I was doing was basically putting them in an uncomfortable spot until I got older. I'm like, why y'all getting upset with me? Because I'm asking I'm a child, first of all, and why is this not being answered? It would be simple stuff like, I'm listening to what they saying. So if you're telling me it was created in several days, what was he doing in the dark all them first couple of days? Stuff like that. People really do get upset by that type of stuff.
But they don't want you questioning. They don't want you questioning their God. And that's why it was hard for me to follow it, because it's not that, we're people that, we're curious creatures. So why can't we ask these sort of questions? Not that it's blasphemy, not to talk down on nobody, but we want to know. We want to be in the know. So when I can't do that and gain knowledge, when you're telling me that I can't seek knowledge, something don't sound right.
It just didn't. I was so happy when they sent out those Columbia. I'm old. I don't know if you remember it, but it was Columbia had these little postcards. You can pick out music and books. I was going straight to the books. I got me some Hinduism, some Judaism, I got the Catholic. I got a whole. Then I found out about books that was missing in the Bible. I started ordering all that stuff. My father was the first one that saw it. The book that he picked up was that Judaism book. And he said, why do you have this stuff? And I was like, because I'm trying to find something now. Like, I'm asking y'all questions. Y'all getting upset when I ask these questions. So let me, get the digging. And I ordered a lot of books. I ordered books about sex. Why? Because in Christianity, your parents don't talk to you about stuff like that. So here I am with all these books, but the books that really, made you think like, wait a minute, she, really want to know some stuff was some religious books. But then my father started talking to me more about his life, how it was growing up. He started talking to me about racism and stuff like that. Then he started giving me books. That's the thing. I was like, he started buying books. I'm like, all this time I'm in high school, grammar school, we could have been talking about this stuff. But I'm happy that he did it, when he did it, because a lot of times it's just stuff happened for a reason. Maybe he didn't know I wanted to talk about and learn that type of stuff. I'm a teenager at that time. I was like, whatever, and that attitude. My daughter going through it right now. And I told my mom, I'm like, Mom, sometimes I just got to say I'm sorry randomly to you, because that little girl get on my nerves. So she get it. Like, I get it. But I don't know. I took in everything y'all was saying. I'm so appreciative because everything y'all said resonated with things I was thinking about or either going through and questioning. So this is great. But on the level of what we need to do to bring the love back, I've always said balance. That's all I could think of is because when I was pregnant with my daughter, a lot of visions came to me. I used to watch this show called The Wire. And doing that show, I kind of got stuck. I was stuck in my head at one point because a vision flashed to me showing me the future. And I always said, like, oh my God, the kids that's coming up watching this and after are going to be in the attitude of Snoop and Omar. And that's exactly where it went.
Yep.
Man. And then I started seeing all this stuff come to pass, and it really blew me. I'm like, it's kind of scary because I think about my daughter. I'd be like, man, I don't know what y'all gonna do later. Like, what's gonna be left for y'all to recreate, to keep this plane up, balanced. It's really scary out here.
Yeah. I think we need to get back to homemaking class, classes in home ec, sewing, trade school with the young, high schoolers, and economics and sewing needs to come back. Those vocational classes.
Gardening.
Yeah, gardening, because we gotten far off the rolls. Everybody just want to mall and shop and go hang out and slumber party and, all the stuff that they don't even want to know how to cook.
But I want to interject and say something. What I'm noticing for my own stuff and the way that I grew up being that my parents were first generation coming over. The African household is totally different from what I'm hearing because we are raised to be wives, raised to be husbands, and starting first with the African spirituality and traditions before anything else.
And that's why I'm so glad you on here, Madame, because that's what I've been trying to say. Like, I study my Mama Africa, right? Because over 25 years of nursing, all I worked with was Mama Africa. I'm talking about from Nigeria to Gambia to Ethiopia to Zimbabwe, and I would go in there asking them questions because I was like, no, I got to find out why we divided, or they trying to make us divided when we're not. So I would go ask them this, and I watched and I watched and I watched, and I said, okay, we're disconnected as culture and identity, and you're right. Mm-hmm. You're grown up. You raised right from the beginning in Mama Africa. Y'all are taught that, but in America, no, because we couldn't discuss the birds and the bees. And that's why teen pregnancy, high school dropouts, all that stuff, because we wasn't taught the feminine, masculine energy balance at birth. It's even in your dance. I love to see the little 5-year-olds. I love to see the little 5-year-olds doing it because I understand that's the energy. They being fluid. They understand that they're connecting with the motherland and the energy. And so they're very respectful. And I worked with the men and the brothers from Africa and the sisters from Africa for 25 years, and watched them closely, talked to them, went to a couple of Nigerian parties, Sierra Leone, all of them. I would not bite my tongue, okay? Huh? Who want to say something next? Y'all?
I didn't want to say, I saw a couple of comments about the spiritual intimacy, and I wanted you to touch on that, Mom.
Oh, the spiritual intimacy. Oh, I got my books right here, y'all. I was ready for them books, y'all.
Like, what do you mean?
the intimacy is like getting vulnerable. See all these books I went and dug out on my shelf of spiritual intimacy and tantra and vulnerability, and it's some more out there I still gotta get. But this is like the ones from my bookshelf. And I said, okay, get my books. I hope I didn't miss any of them because I got quite a few books. But the spiritual intimacy is like.
Sorry, Kim. If y'all not talking, go ahead and mute your mic.
Oh, that might be Cookie. I mean, not Cookie. Wendy.
You have the ability to mute, Ma, so you do it.
I don't know how.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, thank you, Mason. I was wondering where that was coming from. Okay.
Remember, it was hard for me to be able to, for you to make me like the second host, so I wasn't able to do it.
So, the sexual intimacy, the spiritual intimacy is the soul. Knowing the soul. Knowing not just the body, the flesh, the body, the matter, but it's the connecting to a soul connection with that person. And we're all soulmates, and we talk about twin flame soulmates, and we're all each other's soulmates and twin flames, vice versa. Anyway, you're your own soulmate and twin flame. So when you meet another person, you're meeting another person, that you already know, and that connection you can't explain is that soul connection in another past life. Different face, different name. Y'all hear me mention it all the time. It's the same energy signature, but different name, different space and place in this dimension. But you know each other from past lifetime. You've crossed paths before. You made a contract to come back and do it again. You make another contract to come back and do it again. Until you get whatever the lesson it is you have to learn, you meeting on a soul level, not just the lust level. The ones that want to stay with the red flag thing, those are the ones that keep repeating the lesson. If you can tell, they keep repeating and repeating. Why I can't find nobody? Why this happen? Because they're not learning the lesson. They're not graduating. So they're going to be here running in circles, never going right until they hit face back, look up like that. And then they go, oh, maybe some of them will wake up and maybe some won't. But the spiritual intimacy is uncovering the soul, the mind, behind that flesh, behind that matter, underneath it, right? Within that person, to know if there's a connection greater than the physical appearance, because this is an illusion. I could look this way, but not really be this way in the inside, on a spiritual level. So
but how come, if we're always evolving or always growing, don't we both have to be on that level so that it's together?
Well, that's where the balance would come in, if like what we were talking about, the yin yang. But everybody don't be on that balance when they meet. Me and your daddy wasn't even on that. Me and your daddy wasn't on that balance. We was on a physical balance. I wasn't spiritual then. He sure wasn't. So you see, that's and now you see me spiritual now. I don't know what he is now, but you see the difference now. How I raised you, and now you see the difference now, right? That's the difference. That's the difference. So not indoctrinated by religion, for one thing, getting in the way, discombobulating the mind, confusing things with the mind. Now I can decode the whole Bible because I had to step away, get me who I was first. Then now I can break the joker down like it ain't nothing. I mean, just like it ain't nothing. But not to say that I want to be in it. No, I understand now really what it was for. It was a tool. It's a tool that's misused by people to beat people upside the head with, or, get them to do what they want. It's a weapon of destruction, and it's a weapon of creation. If you don't know the Bible, I'm talking about the religion itself, the Bible, because that's history, that's biology, that's nature, that's the law in there. It's some good stuff in it, some not so good stuff in it. But that's what every religion. So you got to take out what resonate with you. But when you're spiritual, you'll understand it. But, I got like the little tantra book here, spirituality, a little tantra book. I'm gonna just hold, I don't know if they can see them or not. I'm just going to hold that up. I don't even know if it's backwards or not. So that's one. Then we got Oshun Intimacy, right? Because those are some for the readers they can probably look up. Then we got this one. So it's all kind of books on how to be intimate with, no matter, if your nationality or color, like Emmanuel said, it has nothing to do with color or your race. But it's if you really want to learn how to treat each other, and these are green flags, by the way. These books are green flags. All right, these are green flag books. These ain't no, I gotta let a person walk all over me or nothing like that. That's a zodiac for black love. I gotta get the latest book on this one because they got a blue or green book. That's the latest book, right? And then there's the Feminine Energy by T.C. Carter. He talks about the feminine and masculine energy balance, right? Then the Art of Sacred Sex, right? There's one. There's all kind of books out there for green flags to help us get in touch with that spiritual intimacy part of ourselves, more beyond just between the legs. People don't want to take time and get to know each other and balance out and treat each other right, So, look at all the books. And it's just a few. It's probably hundreds more out there, right? It's probably hundreds more that talk about feminine and masculine energy, right? The Taoism speaks about it. I got a couple of other Tao books in the back too. Tells you the right time to have sex and when not to have sex. All kind of stuff. That's sacred sexuality. And it's really about you being balanced with your chakras. It's about you being balanced with your chakras with a person and being together up here in the mind more so than down between the legs, because that's the lust area. You got to have self-control. So African intimacy or spiritual intimacy is about self-control. It's about you having self-control. Like, that's a weapon down there. Just like that's root for chakra. Creation. Yeah, that root chakra. That's a weapon of destruction and creation. Co-creation and co-destruction. Because you can use it for the right reasons, just like you can use that for the wrong reasons. And that's called abuse of power. Manipulation of sexual energy, God's energy. And that's where everything is with the red flag and the green flag. That's why I said, no. We got a green flag, ain't nobody talking about. And the green flag is when we can be a balanced couple and we can use that energy to co-create the life we want instead of co-destroy each other. And that's the difference. And that's taking time to know this right here rather than just knowing that down there and then discarding you. You see what I'm saying? So it's way deep. Like Emmanuel said, we're going to have to have more than one discussion.
To say that the reason why that it's called in general the human race is because once you ascend from here, they're not worried about black, white, Chinese, Mexican, whatever. Okay? It's your creation. Understand? The earth is already ascended. A lot of you guys are catching up now, which is really good. I'm still working too. But this is going with or without you. So you can either stay on those high vibrations and get along and love each other, or stay behind and keep repeating the cycle.
That's right. I always said too, because I saw it on Facebook. It said, let's wake up so we can make up. Not make up as jump in the sack so much, but make up as in get back to loving each other in the godly way that we're supposed to, like Mason was saying, like nature does us, like Mama Nature does us. Let's start. The love is the only and the highest frequency in the whole universe. It's only love. It's only love. Everything else falls away. It's only love. Because we
There's
always...
only a certain time. In nature, it's only a certain time they have sex.
That's right. That's right. Most people don't even know that. Most women and men today don't even know when or not they're supposed to have sex.
Is that because they're operating on a lower self?
That, and we weren't taught. That's why we were going to church. That's why we were going to church asking for forgiveness, because the pastor knew we wasn't supposed to be.
No, I ain't been to church long, so.
The pastor knew we wasn't supposed to be having sex on a certain day, but the pastor wasn't teaching us when not to have sex on a certain day.
That's because they was doing it in every day.
So we had to go pay the piper.
Well, it was all designed to complicate things for you. It really was.
Yeah.
But if you catch for a moment and reflect on self, it'll get that much easier. You got to cut out the noise.
The distractions.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. We also got in every vine, there's a twist. Marvin Gaye said, I heard it through the grapevine. But if you unravel that vine and get to the root of it, you'll see the truth something deeper and deeper and deeper than what we ever thought and ever known, because we only know what we were taught.
I bet you're wondering how I do.
Well,
All right, Mason.
Muslim, what have you, go out, do yourself a favor, go to Barnes & Noble, get your library card, read something.
That's right.
I just wanted, oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to jump in on that Unravel, because you gave a lesson, and one of the oracle cards was Unravel Your Heart. And that, you know, even if you feel that you had a model for a divine and a feminine counterpart relationship, there is still some unraveling of that you have to do in your relationships. You know, my family, you know, my parents were the Huxtables. I have 5 brothers. And so I only grew up with boys. And my mother and father put me as the person in charge. So I had 2 older brothers, but I was still in charge. And so I was 100% masculine, and I'm an Aries on top of that. So get stuff done, take charge. That's it. That's what I'm gonna do, you know? And so and with that energy, I chose to not have relationships, to not marry until later, and to focus on getting that job, getting that education, you know, doing those masculine things. And going back to what you were talking about, if you are conscious of that you have to let your feminine side come to the surface to be in a relationship, and you're willing to learn, you're willing to be authentic, you're willing to read, you're willing to look and really, what does that mean? And it doesn't mean that you have to give up who you are as a person. And I think that's the part that some women, when they come from the masculine and go into a feminine, they give up everything. Mm-hmm. Because it's like they don't have the balance. It's like, mm-hmm. I got to do this because this is what he wants me to do. This is how he sees it. So I'm going to do all of that. So I just wanted to kind of touch on that. But
the women ran the house, and the man was an enforcer.
That's right. Say that again, Mason.
Women, even back in Africa, women were the judges, but the men were the enforcers. Women run the house, and the man is the enforcer.
That's right.
Something earlier, though. You said, what happens if in a relationship someone gets hurt?
I'll be right back, guys. I'm still here. I'll be right back.
Band-Aid on it. You better put a Band-Aid on it and get over it. No disrespect to anybody, but the man is there to back that woman up.
That's
you gotta have a backbone. But the women is a lot stronger than.
That's why
we better get in touch with our feminine side at the same time too.
That's right. That's right. It's a teamwork. I don't know where we get this. I mean, we got to be individual, yeah. But like you said, when something happens, you got to still give each other support wherever. If somebody's down, there's got to be support. If the other one's down, there's got to be support. And when you go back to Mama Africa, and the thing today is like men forget that they are nurturers and cultivators too, just like the female is. And that's the problem. A lot of them, and a lot of sisters too, aren't nurturing, ain't tapped into the culturing, cultivating and nurturing and receiving. And that's where the imbalance comes in too. And like I said, and like you mentioned, Corinne, they're not reading. They're not reading because all they're reading is a dollar sign. What's between your legs? Yeah, what's between your legs and a dollar sign? That's the only thing they read.
Exactly. Booty pics and that's the social media has certainly taken over and influenced that, and just so with my 5 brothers, all of them are very unique and very different partners, and it's a great thing. But the one thing that they saw in my father was they're that stable provider in the relationship, and that they have that responsibility. Even if the relationship didn't work out, there was still going to be that presence and that force in the life of the child, and to make sure that the woman is okay too, and that is unique. I even have one brother who was a stay-at-home father for a while, and because his wife made more money than childcare, and so it didn't make sense. And he had to take a bunch of flack from all his friends saying, "Oh, you're letting your wife work. What is wrong with you?" And he was, and he had the strength to just say, "Listen, I'm doing what's best for my family. And right now, this is what's best. And when the kids are in school, I'll go and do what I need to do to get back and provide. But this is what's best." And, it comes from that I think from having that core stability of growing up. Certainly everyone has been through their hurdles in their relationship, ups and downs, but there's a core self-awareness and self-love that they learned, or that we learned when we were young. And that no matter what our choices were, you could always come back to that and grow that through learning and talking with other people and experiencing different kinds of relationships. So.
You can go ahead.
All right. So to piggyback on what Kem was saying, the failure of the Black family. Georgia Powers wrote a book. She was top notch with Martin Luther King, and he was a strong key factor in the failure of the Black family, starting with Section 8, because in Section 8, a man is not allowed in the household. So that's the separation right there. And allowing women to go to work. Because the women used to be in the neighborhood, they see so-and-so doing something, they would handle that. It took a village to raise kids. We don't have that anymore. Everybody's out working. Even the kids don't even have what the parents could teach them, because they at school 65% of the time, more time than they are at home. They're raised by their peers, and the peers don't even know. Even the parents didn't even know. They're still learning. So when that took that away, family businesses, the man used to go out and make the bacon and bring it home, and mama used to make it and feed everybody. We don't have that anymore. Everybody is out working, hustling for somebody else and not for our own family. So we're not there to raise our own kids. If we was there to raise our own kids, I was raised by 3 strong women. My mother, my auntie, and my grandmother. My grandmother was born in 1912, so she taught me how to, even though she passed when I was 5, she taught me how to cook. And cooking is what they say is the way to a woman's heart. And if a man can't cook, he ain't helping out no way or another, because if mama gets sick, who gonna make her some soup? Right. And we don't know about the herbs that the grandparents used to go out and get the tree bark, get them tree leaves, get that mint if your stomach's hurting, and drink a tea out of that. We don't know that no more. We know to go to the doctor. And even in slavery, they weren't going there. White man wasn't going to no white. In slavery, the slave masters wasn't going to their doctors. They were saying, go out to Big Mama and get them roots, because she had that natural medicine that would heal us. The mother is the healer. The man is the one who supports her. He'd go out and get them trees. He'd go catch them frogs for mama to cook and do whatever she had to do. Chicken legs, all that stuff. The man went and got it. And when that separated, that broke down the family a lot. And let's go back to marriage. The original marriage, that's the original marriage. That finger going that ring. Okay? And in Africa, the men used to travel. And for 3 or 4 weeks, they had to follow the herd. They had to take the herd out if they was raising cows and feed that cow and feed that wherever the water was fruit and full, where the water was at and the grass was at. They had to take that cattle there. So who was left there to take care of the village and the house? It was the king and the women. And every village that a man went to, the king there at that village says, here's a place for you to sleep. Here's a woman for you to sleep with. That child in turn had a stepmother in every village, a cousin in every village, and learned everything from each village. And they brought it back. It wasn't just one thing that we learned. And at the same time, Africans, they let them kids run free until they 5 and 6 years old. And then they see what that child is good at, and they enhance that child. That's the village enhancing that child to be a men sew over there. Men don't sew here. They think it's a step down from being a man. Man, you better be a man and make a hat for your mama.
I know
you
that.
better be a man and make a hat for your child. You better learn how to do all that. And we don't know how to do that no more because we're in this messed up society. It's a white man's world. And until we go back, unravel that vine and get to the root and learn where the root came from, because even in the Bible, my name is Tadell, Genesis 14, and I can't find a pastor to this day that'll tell me where my name is. They talk about I know the Bible front and back. I know everything in the Bible. Well, where my name at? Oh, I ain't never heard of that. Well, shut all that up. My grandfather was a pastor. My grandmother named me out of the Bible. My daddy used to go out in the back of the church where my granddaddy was preaching, and they used to bet on him to knock fuckers out. So, because they're in that church, that's religion, giving legion back to something else besides what you naturally know. When they went over there in Africa, they knew right from wrong. They didn't know nothing about no sin. They didn't know nothing about no devil. Devil is 666. That's 6 neutrons, 6 protons, and 6 electrons. Carbon. That's us. So whenever we go to church and we're praying against the devil, we're praying against our own self. And if we can't come up out of that, we'll keep on holding ourselves down and we'll never bring ourselves up or our kids at all. So we got to get back to the root of everything and where it came from. Kids, say it again.
Why would they say the devil's in the details?
Everything you write, it comes to light on paper, but you got to start writing what color signs on paper? Blackness, carbon. So the detail is what you do when you come up, and we are broke down from that. So the detail now is what we tell you to do. What we tell you is so.
It was the system.
We tell you got to go by.
I believe it was the system that was placed in front of people that we've lost these trades, these skills that we learned. Everybody's got to hustle for the dollar instead of go out and find out what kind of root's good for the family, how to hunt.
Not even the family, for that person, because they, like I said, in Africa, they let that child run and they see what that child was good. That child's good at jumping. We're going to teach them how to jump even more, and they enhanced it. They backed him up. African proverbs. If I can't, you can't, we can't. Mm-hmm. We are one.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So we mess kids up now. Kids are born geniuses.
Yeah.
When they learn how to walk, they bend and squat. Lick their fingers from the ground. People say, "Oh, that's nasty." Man, you good to wipe your hands. But the germs, now they're trying to inoculate us with vaccines and shit. They was naturally getting the germs off of the dirt and off of Mama Nature to heal our bodies. And we ain't getting that no more.
That's
now,
right.
When they see us, we bend over and get stuff at the waist. But when you go to these white people's job, or I ain't gonna say white, when we go to this job, they tell you on a sign, how do you pick up things? You squat.
Yeah.
Kids are natural, but we shit when it, I mean, my language, they let it go when they supposed to. They cry when they supposed to. If you listen to a child's cry, a baby's cry, you'll know when that baby's hurt. You know when that baby's hungry. You might even know when that baby's spoiled. I don't want that. We better learn. We got to go back to these kids.
Yeah.
The kids are the future.
That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying.
Right. Wiggy, I keep on calling her Wiggy, but Whitney Houston said the children are the future, and she wasn't lying. She wasn't lying. But the kids were taught now by cartoon figures. I was taught by Big Bird. So when I went to school and Miss Osborne wanted to tell me something, I didn't want to hear that. I'd rather have this funny looking motherfucker tell me something because it makes it more interesting.
Now it's an iPad.
Say it again.
I said now it's an iPad, social media, whatever is on
Virtual reality.
Yep.
And we know that anyone can create anything on the internet. So you don't know if it's fact, truth, the right way.
You lying because somebody know it. It's called fact checkers. They know everything.
Right.
See, once again,
They say
They can't even make retractions themselves, man.
Yeah, we gotta follow them kids. We gotta follow them kids and see what they are loving and what they're doing and back it up 179%. That's why I teach kids now. My mother, she said today, grab that newspaper, grab that dirt. You know, Saturdays, it's time to go out and play because we don't went to school all week. She said, grab that newspaper, grab that dirt, grab that plant, grab that pot. She taught me to transplant plants. I didn't like that as a child. But now I can't get it out of my blood. And everything we use comes from mama. I give each one and every one of y'all $5,000 right now if you tell me one thing that you use that don't come from her earth. Oxygen included.
Everything come from her.
So if we respect her, treat her right, she'll do us even better.
She'll feed us and take care of us and clothe us and shelter us and watch over us.
You told me that I was being in tune with my feminine nature. I've been in spirituality, but I wasn't trying to get into feminine because I'm thinking that, it's feminine.
No, that's the misconception. But that's the misconception.
Misconception. It's a misconception. When I was doing a yoga pose, you said that's a feminine pose. Be damned if it didn't feel better than any pose I ever did.
I'm telling you.
I just wanted to pop in about what you're talking about around kids and nature and understanding that it is Mother Earth that is providing everything. I see kids every day who have no true, authentic understanding of food. For them, food comes from a freezer. It comes from a freezer. They don't understand that it gets planted, a seed gets planted, it gets watered from the sun, from nature, the rain, the clouds. They truly believe food is endless from a grocery store.
I have to say this, guys.
They've told me that.
They lied.
Spirituality. Picture what you're talking about, virtual reality and our kids aren't going to have that opportunity to learn these things if virtual reality grows the way that they want it to. They want to use these implements for our bodies for control. This is why there's almost a two-sided thing going right now with the energies. You got the spiritual side and you got the techie side, right? If Elon gets this chip, this Neuralink thing out, because they're already creating foods and everything else in virtual reality and make it seem real. And with this pandemic and getting locked up in your homes and people not wanting to go to work, just making it easier and easier for them to put these robots out there. These robots are already taking over the internet. A lot of the stuff that you see is geared by a robot to you.
Yep.
That you like.
Yep, to watch you and babysit you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, they be throwing me in jail all the time.
I've been watching
I'm sorry.
like the jab, the shot. They're fighting for their freedom. Australia, Israel, whatever. Other countries are stepping up and trying to fight for their freedoms, their self-freedoms, their preservation.
Yeah.
We haven't done much. I've seen New York, but I haven't seen us here in the United States do anything but sit here and watch this YouTube and Netflix and go to work. It cause chaos.
The movie Wall-E, have y'all seen that? Wall-E. There we go.
Is that with the robot?
Yes. There we go. There we go. Now that's why I take the kids out of nature. You know, you gotta learn how to get out there and feel that. Learn to meditate with her. Learn to hug a tree.
That's right.
Learn to be with mama.
I love hugging trees.
Okay, and Kim, to touch on what you said, sexual is time. We got to go to what I love. What you do is my mother taught me to read when I was 2 years old, and she taught me how to play chess when I was 2. Taught me how to ride a bike. She was a teacher. My dad was a drill sergeant, so life goes on. Astrology. Taurus is happy with sex at 7 in the morning. Aquarius, me, happy with it all day long.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to learn each other's body, time, and everything. Even how to eat. Your body tell you how to eat.
It sure do.
If you break it down,
That
you ball up your fist.
Taoism,
You
yeah.
ball up, okay, you ball up your fist. That's how big your stomach is.
That's right.
It ain't all that other stuff is fat because we eating stuff that the body don't know how to break down, and they just want to store it somewhere because I can't push it through. So in your neck, you got 7 bones. The cervix, you break your fast at 7, 8 m. In your thoracic, you got 12. You eat lunch. That size only, both times. And old folks used to say dinner's done at 5 o'clock. 5, 6, you finish eating, you still got 12 hours of fast. And we don't do that no more. Because we're working, trying to get a little meal in now. We eat McDonald's, combo meals. You eat one portion of that, you drink a drink, you're full.
Mm-hmm.
But if you start eating that burger, halfway through you're full, and then you reach for that cold drink, which grease solidifies when you get cold, when it gets cold. So when you're drinking that cold drink, what is it doing to that food that you put in? It's just locking it up. It ain't going nowhere. And then you're trying to gobble it down because you got a half an hour to get back to this job.
That's right.
Better get off of that and get back to Mama Nature and get back to your mother and your woman, because she is your child's mother. Even though if you can't get along with her, that's what jobs was for. Men used to go out and take their kids out there and show them how to work, show them how to make a business and bring home the bacon. We don't do that no more. And then slavery, they were some tough ass women. I love them and I miss them and I respect everything they did for us because they didn't have no washer and dryers. But every day that me and child, everybody went out, their clothes was fresh and pressed. These women nowadays, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Madame, you want to speak, Madame?
I just wanted to say, I think that if we look at our children as our ancestors, we would raise them different.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about Mama Africa, the feminine and the masculine role. Like what our roles are, like back when, like as far as you can remember, what was our roles like? Because that's what we've gotten away from.
So like Mason said with the gardening, the gardening, the farming, I remember going out to the fields with my mother and my father, and we're all taking part with the planting and explaining why, we're putting this in the earth at the certain time that we're putting it in the earth, just like sex, certain times. There's a time to plant, there's a time to harvest, there's a time to eat it, those type of things. Then there was roles in the house. So everything that had to do with the house, we already knew that the females in the house had to do those things. Anything outside of the house were the male things to do. And for instance, with my daughter, I look at her and I raise her just like I was raised. Look at her as an ancestor. So she knows when we eat, the ancestors eat. We go out, we have a certain tree that we hug, that we ground ourselves. We have another tree that we use where we feed the ancestors and appreciate them. We don't intake anything in our bodies that our ancestors did not eat. So we were given African tradition before we were given any kind of religion.
Wow.
So that grounds us within ourselves with self-awareness and self-accountability.
Yep. Wow. And see,
So
that's the
the man
difference.
is there to put it in. He's put the seed in, and that's even with Kim, other ladies, Madame, Corrine, and Human Light, y'all women. But actually, you a Wombman. We are all men. No matter what, we on mama's earth. And the man put that seed in. That's all. The mama's there to nature to make it better.
That's right.
But see, we go as deep in as far as back to when women were creating babies without a man. So, we're not even going to touch on that tonight because that goes deep.
I know, that's another topic.
The right foods, the right light, the right vibration, a woman can, it's called osmosis. When them cells, she creates the cell and it just breaks apart on its own. So that in the tombs, the Egyptian pyramids, it was real big. And when they spoke and they said anything, it'll vibrate. Now we on this bass, which we love bass, but we don't understand where it came from.
Yeah. I also think too, with healthy relationships, when you got a healthy man and a woman, from what I'm hearing from y'all that, had that strong, Wendy, Madame, Corinne, and Emmanuel had that strong, and you, Mason, that had that strong feminine, masculine energy in the house, that it was the woman and the man connected on the spiritual, the financial, the emotional, the physical, and what else? The psychological, and did I say mental? Mental, right? So back then they were connecting on all of those levels. So, that's a healthy relationship when both of them can be that to each other. Even if it's without the fidelity part, or being, even if they creep, they didn't show it. Most of the time they got away with it. Some of them back then, not y'all parents, but other ones, right? They just didn't show it. They hid it very well because the woman stayed in the house, so it was hideable. Even if they had another woman across the town, because even my dad had I got stepbrothers. So, whether they were married or not at the time, but my mom and my dad at the time, but I still ended up with stepbrothers. You see what I'm saying? I still ended up with stepbrothers. So we already know when there's stepchildren in there, either the parent separated early and then they went on and had children somewhere else. And so you got the stepbrothers and sisters and stuff. And the bad thing is about some of us don't even know our stepbrothers and sisters.
Right. And at the same time, they was accepted back then. The kid was accepted at the stepmother's house. Now you're not supposed to you ain't supposed to talk about
They
that.
don't even want to see the child. They mad.
Yes, mad. Conflict, fights. And the fighting is between the mother and the husband or the boyfriend or whoever, and the children are witnessing all of it.
Yep.
And that is defining how they will have relationships.
They only know what they're taught, and they see that, so they're gonna reenact that.
Yes, how they interact with men and women, and what they will value or not value. And I see that often. I see that frequently in young people. I see them every single day. And there was something else I wanted to say, but I forgot. But one other thing, Kim, that you brought up, Lakeisha, is in these relationships, there has to be the willingness and the ability for them to grow together and to change together. And when one stops growing and doesn't want to change, then that's that time that we talked about a little in the beginning. it's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
Because you are not the same person that you were when you met the first year. You are not the same person 5 years out, 10 years out, 15, 20. And you've been in a long-term relationship, Mason. I'm sure you can, you know, a marriage, you can speak to that.
It ain't been easy, but it's lovely. So if you got if both of us had to man up. We might be mad at each other, and I might put her in the closet, but like Smokey said, she come out, she be talking. So, you know, and she might put me in the closet. So it is what it is. It's not about us. It's not about me and her. It's not about
Couples that can
my baby. It's about the kids more than anything.
What you say?
No matter what disagreements we have, it's about the kids.
That's respect.
And a positive.
Don't be talking to me like that.
A positive relationship between a man and a woman, they laugh together, they smile together, they cry together, you know, they have fun, they have serious time, they have times where you can talk about anything under the sun without, you know, agree to disagree, we like to say. You can have your differences of opinion on politics or on things that happen in the world or whatever, but you're still not disrespectful. It's positive dialogue. It's effective communication. So our men and women relationships that's healthy, we know how to have those, you know, healthy communication, because that'll ruin a marriage too. If you can't effectively communicate, you know.
Love is not judging.
Yeah, say it again, Emmanuel.
Huh?
Say that again.
And love is non-judging.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Love is a man-made word, and we got to love ourselves. You got to let go of that ego, and if you got an ego, then you worried about what other people think about you. And what they said, my daddy said, if somebody say something bad about you, that's fuck. I mean, what if somebody? Excuse me, I'm trying to keep it clean, but if somebody say something bad about
I don't care.
If somebody say something bad about you, fuck them, because if they ain't doing nothing to help you, they can kiss your ass. That opinion ain't mean shit.
Exactly. And that's what I want to emphasize too for young, you know, people out there with healthy relationships between a man and a woman. A man ain't putting all the pressure on you. A woman's not nagging. You know, you're asking each other for what you need. Not that you're not saying, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're not giving me enough this. It's a way that the effective communication, and these young couples and stuff, they're not knowing how to relay that because of the trauma they haven't dealt with. Because you come to.
But if they're saying it, Kim, if they're saying it, it might be true, and it's up to you. Because when you point, even though you point a finger at somebody, you got 1, 2.
That's right.
That's at your ass.
Self-accountability.
Self-accountability. If we don't change it and don't listen to what they're saying, if it's bad, even listen in here and let it go out there. But you got to take it in and digest it.
Yep.
Because a woman actually, she done broke me down. All the way down. And built me up too.
There you go.
And we come together, we'll fight, especially if it's about our kids.
See, we'll both be up in there.
Oh.
You know, in a relationship, you guys have both respected each other's energy to be able to come this far.
Yeah, it's hard, but sometimes I'm still hard-headed, man. You know, and she's still hard-headed. But yes, we do. Yes, we do. We balance it out. We have to. Even if we got to step away from each other for a few days, you know, I let her go in the room. I allow her to go in the room. And I go in the garden. But, you know, sometimes we got to step away, even if it's from an argument. Step away, look at it, and come back Even with yourself, you can look in the mirror. I'll be like, oh, yeah. But when I step away from that mirror, I don't even see myself no more. Yeah. I see other things. Yes. And like I said, African proverbs, if I can't, you can't, we can't.
Yep.
So we got to take it's constructive criticism.
Oh, yes. That's the big thing. We don't know how to take that. We definitely don't know how to take that. I wanted to give an example of, because of the red flag, and I wanted, in case anybody's single that was listening to the red flag stuff come through this channel, I looked up the etymology word of celibacy. And y'all remember on the live, I told people to stop saying that, right? Stop throwing that word out, because you don't know what you're saying. You're not gonna, you're putting yourself, like you said, Mason, crossing out love, don't want it no more, giving up hope. Y'all, the etymology of that word is promise to remain unmarried.
Don't you know they teach kids nowadays in school about celibacy? So I flipped it on her little ass. I said, "Oh, the lady told me, she said, I'm celibate. I'm practicing celibacy." So I said, "How much you selling that bit of that pussy?" And right then and there, everybody do. If we can't laugh and smile and enjoy life, hey,
And it
I
goes,
ain't got nothing to do with you.
and I'm telling you,
I don't need nothing holding me down. If you mad and you angry, I don't need nothing holding me down on this earth but gravity, and I can't even see that.
there you go.
I say.
And that's why I told them, stop saying that. Don't use that as an excuse to work on yourself, because a lot of them didn't know what that word, and they're all going around, "Oh, I'm celibate. Like it's a trophy." No, you don't even know what you're doing. You're cursing yourself. You're cursing yourself.
That's how much they selling it for.
To never get married again. And they use it as hook, line, and sinker, because if a man think you're going to be celibate, they're going to come after you to try to break it, right? So then further, I'm reading celibacy and what it means, the etymology of it. Unattached from thought plus feeling. That means man plus woman, because man is the thought spiritually and the woman is the feeling. So that means you're unattached from the feminine and the masculine energy. So I was like, what are they doing? But that's when you fall in a crowd and you go in what everybody else say and you spit it out your mouth, but you don't investigate, you don't read, you're just going with everybody thinking that celibacy is a fad and it's cool. And it's not, if they look the word up, a state of being unmarried and alone and single, like you ain't never gonna marry again. And now they'll wonder 5 years, 10 years down the line, when they go, "Oh, now I want a person," and change their mind, because our minds do change, right? Our emotions go like this. And then they wonder why they can't catch nobody, because you spoke that into existence, saying, "I am celibate. I am."
What you speak,
You
what
see
you
what I'm saying?
speak, you manifest into life.
Exactly. That's why I said, tell them, please stop. Don't say that. If you're just going to quit having sex, just quit having sex. But it don't have to be nobody's business for you to say something about it. You just not having sex. If the right person come along, you may start having sex.
Yeah, what you said about earlier, your soul person. Everybody, real quick, put your hand together like that. Fold that middle finger in and make them knuckles touch. Your thumbs, your parents leave you. Your brothers and sisters leave you with your pointer finger.
Yes.
You don't leave yourself. Yourself is folded in. Now, with all them fingers together, try to remove that next finger where the ring is at.
You can't. It's stuck.
All right. That's your soulmate, and this is your kids leaving the house, the pinkies.
Yep.
So that's why they put that ring on that finger, but the ring was a different thing. The ring is the man and thing.
That's right. The God
Those
sexual
natural
energy.
marriage.
Yep. That's the concept. That's the holy matrimony. That's the holy matrimony. And the thought and the thought and the feeling is the holy matrimony in a spiritual level, because this is the man and this is the woman. And a man ain't gonna just give a woman their heart, right? And neither should a woman, but though that's the masculine, this is the feminine. So even when you marry, that gotta be equivalent to you with that soul thing you were just saying. That means the mind of that man has to marry the heart of that woman. The heart of that, the soul of that man has to marry that woman. That's the sacred matrimony. That's the real ring. It don't have nothing to do with this so much or the certificate, because once you make up in your mind, I'm out, you're out. and no paper can stop you. But we're here to experience God in physical form, expression within both of us as the experience, or like you say, on an intimate level, experience what heaven on earth is. And not be each other's hell, but be each other's heaven on earth. As it is up here, so it is down there. That's why some of us are turned on intellectually more so, or emotional intelligence, intellectual infinity, rather than just between the legs below the lower three chakras, the third, second, and the first chakra. Because that's the lower Babylon. That's the physical world, Babylon. The upper would be the heart up.
It's funny how the time shut down in 2020 and everybody had time and peace, love, and man.
I got a package coming.
I'll be able to get it. 2020, we had time to shut down, and now it's this. Covering up everything. So at the same time, they gave us the opportunity to see each other in the eye. We don't look at each other in the eye no more. We was always looking
down
below, and we got to know what's up in here. And that first eye is the third eye, because the pineal gland is where it first comes from. If you can't think that thought, you can't see it, you can't hear it, you can't do nothing, but you got to see it inside first. And if you don't know what's in there, you won't know nothing else about the rest of that person.
That's right. That's right. The seed of the soul. Yeah. The heart, the soul, the spirit that is within. Who said that? India, I read that song. She said you are the something, the spirit that lives within, or was that I think that was India, one of India I read songs or something. You are the.
You got me right there. I don't listen to music.
I forget I think it was India I read mentioned that little verbiage. That's what came to mind in the channel just now. That you are the something that lives within, the soul that lives within. Yeah, that's the lock and key. You know, you want a woman a healthy man that knows about healthy love, want a woman to touch his soul, and a woman want, or spirit, vice versa, or the woman want the man to touch her soul or her spirit, because that's how you know you got the soulmate, because it's undeniable.
What is R&B?
Huh?
You talking about music? What is R&B?
You know what?
What is it broke down to? What's the words? Rhythm and blues. So you get the rhythm, but you get the blues at the same time. Even when you go to church, they bring you up.
We ain't got to
They bring you down, and then they bring you back up and put it in that man's name and talk about here, put it in the plate.
But it ain't got to be that though. Because when you look, but it ain't got to be the blues, because when you grow up and you mature in who you are, and we've been through the fight matches with growing up relationships, sweet 16 and all that, high school and college age, it come to a point you don't want love to be a struggle. You just want a peaceful companionship to share your life with, a friend, a companion, a partnership, a business person to build with. So that's when you've really matured, when you got out of that, that ain't doing it. I ain't into that. You know what I'm saying? You're like, you done got out of that. That phase is gone. So it's more rhythm then, and not blues. I think it's vice versa, but they did it for the sound. At first it's the blues, and then it turns out to be the rhythm.
The rhythm make you get into it and make you love it, but that word behind it, with another man, then some people's heart.
BB King!
She got there working at 9 to 5, they be like, she with another man? You take it too personal.
I know.
So you gotta love yourself if you can enjoy that stuff.
Like you were saying with the rhythm and blues, like even now, the frequency in the music from compared to back then to now, that again, back to balance. I'm talking about the R&B. They doing more just get straight to the let's get it on and out of here. Like it ain't no seduction, no masculine man trying to seduce that sensational feminine woman. It's just even the women, vice versa. They on the same level. I haven't even talked about the rap. I'm talking about the singers. You got the K. Michelle's, the Chris Browns. The music is trash. But again, that's the frequency that's controlling the youth, that's preparing them for the future. That's basically keeping them in this imbalanced form.
So how do we get them out of it?
How are we going to solve that? How are we going to solve it? You talked about the virtual world. They go into this virtual world. All I see is people stuck to the bed, dead, and don't even know that they dead because they already living in a subconscious world that they stuck in. So I really just
virtual world is good if you know how to use it right, because when I came to school, I used to do like this when it's time to take a test.
Right on the hand.
I take a test and be like, but now that the finger, you remember the telephone book where it had the two fingers on, let your fingers do the walking? Right. Now we got this internet and it's right there at your fingertips. Anything you want to know is right there at your fingertips, but what are they looking at?
You still got to be careful with that. I was just telling somebody about Google. I was like, Google just fits the situation. Because we was arguing about the whole vaccine thing, and I was like, Google gonna tell you it's a good thing and it's gonna tell you it's a bad thing based off who's looking for the evidence of the argument.
So how do you guys think
It's just gonna fit the situation.
Change it back to Mother Nature. I don't know. Shit.
What'd you say, Manuel?
That's it.
How is the system since it's broken?
Do we get out of the system? Get out of the system, because everybody's got, ain't nothing more important on this earth than your health. Because if you ain't healthy, you can't have no healthy love. If you ain't healthy, you can't have no healthy body. You can't have nothing if your health ain't right. So we get back to, now, my main thing is to give kids an opportunity to get out of this. Teach them how to grow their own food so they ain't got to be dependent on nobody else. And once they grow their own food, the ones who can and don't, then they have their own business because they'll be able to sell to them and get things. But I like to get back to natural barter where, Ken, you grow tomatoes, Emmanuel, you grow lettuce, and I grow onions. And when it's time, we trade with each other.
Yep, trade and barter.
I got greens in my backyard. Let me know I got a bunch of mustard greens.
I got collard, tomatoes, get you on.
I'll be calling y'all to ship me some. So okay, I'll be dropping something in the Cash App.
I'll be there on December the 5th.
Guys, that's you and the real stuff. You guys really need to go out and start learning these things.
Yes.
Because there's a time where they're going to shut it down.
Yeah.
Just like the people that failed that cold winter in Texas. You're not going to be able to survive.
That's right.
St. Louis. They finna cut the heat off in St. Louis. That's what they keep talking about from that pipe.
Yeah. And that happened in January, right? That ice was in January. So we got less than 2 months, and everybody out there booty shaking and pointing fingers, and ain't nobody, that's a distraction. Ain't nobody getting prepared if they do it again. So they're gonna be caught off guard.
Get with Kim. She's got my email address. Let me know, and I'll send you seeds. I got.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what you want.
I'm cash apping. I tried to.
And you know, they say these clowns now on the radio be like, oh yeah, nigga, I went to the bar, I bought the bar, but then I'm going back home and I ain't even buy the block. I probably rent still right there. So what sense does that make?
And you know what? My tomatoes didn't make it. I tried to do some tomatoes. The pot wasn't deep enough. So they out there dead, dying still. But I was trying to grow me some little tomatoes. My daughter grew some and got some little ones. Mine didn't even make it. So you're right. And we got to go back holistically, Emmanuel and Mason, because we got to, if you're not clean up in here, your behavior is not going to be clean. So, you know, these children got to be reintroduced into farming, into herbals, taking, drinking teas instead of, sodas or fast food,
Talking about tomatoes like that, Kim?
Oh my God, yeah. See there. Why? Why my tomatoes didn't make it?
Well, you got to look at what you was doing. And one, you had it in a pot. So, it's, a man told me, he said, if you don't kill a plant 3 times, you don't know that plant.
Oh my gosh. I was trying to do it off my balcony in a little pot.
I'll be down here on the 5th of December. I'm going to get you together.
All right, please. Bring the seeds. We going to Lowe's and Home Depot.
No, we ain't. No, we ain't.
Those are real seeds.
Yes.
Engineered.
No, I'm
food.
talking about to get.
GMO.
I'm talking about to get the pots.
No, we ain't. We can go to Mama Nature and we can get a piece of wood and I'll show you how to make a build your own raised bed. Balcony size.
Yes.
Customized.
I remember when I was growing up, I used to complain when my mama used to tell us to show them peas and beans, and we used to fuss because our fingers would be hurting. And now I'm like, shit. But being in real estate, y'all, this is part of it. Because being in real estate when I was back there in 06, and subdivisions won't let you have gardens in the backyard. So you got to be real careful if you do get them, because they made us so close. They took our agriculture away because they started stacking houses side by side, and nobody had room, and nobody wanted to put a garden back there. And if you got caught, you know, you could be fined from the HOA. So you had to be like have an uplifted one with wheels and probably do it like that. But they didn't want you digging up in the ground, putting a garden back there, because that was against the HOA. You couldn't even have sheds in subdivisions because of that. And then you would see people with sheds, they wouldn't let them get away with it. But in the subdivision, you wasn't even supposed to have boats. You wasn't even supposed to have sheds, depending on which one it is, if they got an HOA. But if you live in one with the older property, you can get away with it because they don't have an HOA. So it's best to look for a house back in the 70s, 80s, you know, it's somewhere 70s, 80s, 60s where it's no HOA involved, because then you have more leeway to do a garden. The yards were bigger. The houses wasn't that noticeably close from looking at different properties and real estates out there. And I caught on, I was like, God, we fell right into that. We fell right into that. The fast food era.
If you don't know where you come from, and everybody heard it, you never know where you're going. So in the 1930s, it became, it showed your financial stability if you didn't have a garden in front, if you had a lawn. If you had a nice lawn, that showed your wealth, not your health.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of the family, not even just a black family, but just a family business structure dying because everybody started going to factories and working for factories and not working for sales.
You design that will keep you from knowing yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because when you get out there in that garden, you meditate. That's meditation. You look at a plant, everything else disappears except for you and that leaf.
Yep.
That's meditation. And it's exercise because you got to bend over to get it.
Yep.
We got to get back to Mama Nature.
We do.
Everything comes from her. Like I said, Kim, we go get some wood and we
going to get some wood. We going to have to. I'm going to use my little space I got. I don't care.
Ooh, lady, I ain't messing with you no more. You cut off after this because I might drive that Silverado down there and
I want to see that Silverado. I swear, I want to see that Silverado. Dang it. Oh my God, y'all.
We better listen to what the ancestors say, but we got to have a person like Kim to tune us with them.
I just want to give out, you know what, y'all? I appreciate each and every one of y'all for, wanting to come and just share whatever, I don't care. We everywhere, because y'all know that's how I flow anyway. We started off and it went somewhere else. I don't know. It went where it's supposed to went. Okay. But so I'm not worried about it because I know I don't follow scripts very well. But I appreciate everybody's participation, your words, because what y'all channeled in was what needed to be heard by somebody out there. So that's why I'm not strict on where we going. I know we're flowing. I know we're all flowing no matter what we bring up, because somebody out there, that's going to help somebody out there. And it's just the fact, this is Black love right here. This is Black love right here. Look at the panel. This is, I got goosebumps. This is Black love.
I love you, Emmanuel. No homo, though, man.
I'm telling you, we got Emmanuel, we got Corinne, we got Mama Africa in the house, we got 2 Chicagoans in the house. I'm little old Mississippi in the house. I'm sitting here, and then I got my daughter wherever she disappeared to. So it's like, look at the black love. The black love is no judgment. It's we can come to the table and share and dialogue and not criticize, but learn from our experience and share those experiences to help other people look at their current position and see where they can change and evolve. Black love is all love. Black love is all love.
The first time I was on one of your pages, you said somebody in here is not asking something, and that was me. I got Mississippi roots. And just didn't want to ask. Now, Shelly, black love, because you said we had 3 hours. We on CPT because we over there. I'm going to keep on going. I ain't mentioned that time. Let's keep on going.
I know. It probably kick us off. What time is it, y'all?
5:12.
Oh,
it's our time. Time don't matter. It's our time.
It's our time. They're gonna have to kick me off this. They're gonna have to kick me off this Zoom, you know. But I mean, share whatever y'all want to share in knowledge.
They got to do it because we're here.
Y'all channeling, y'all spirit is speaking to y'all just like mine speaking to me. Whatever you want to talk about, it's open. I just wanted to give people positive feedback so that they can not just be out there taking a whole laundry basket full of red flags and wonder why they're still attracting the red flags because they got a bag they carrying around.
Can we talk about niggas? Can we talk about a nigga?
Yeah, if you want to. I don't care. You know, I don't care.
They said when these niggas wake up, it's gonna be trouble.
And it is.
Chi-town in there. I think that's what Bernie said.
Yeah. Yes, that is. It is.
They're gonna be in. Let's wake up.
But we got some that want people to stay asleep, and we got us that want people to wake up. So, and that's the distraction, the battle of the sexes and the distraction. They got the good trying to overcome the bad, and the bad trying to swallow up the good. And then they got the female and the man, the male and the female doing this number. It's your fault. It's your fault. And that's why I said no, we got to do something. We have to do something. It is no way, and it may be a small percentage of us, but you know what? Whenever this video touch, you know, my intention was early this morning when I was meditating, I said, ancestors, my intention is love. It is whoever needs to find this timeless video that they find it, and it's for the right person at the right time. And that's the only intention, that everybody feel the love, everybody feel welcome, everybody, you know, speak from their heart, whatever they want. I don't care. I won't. Look, this is my show. Okay, it goes left, it'll go right, it'll go forward. It might go back that way a little bit and come back up to the front. You know, I don't care because I ain't on no television. Okay. You know,
because we can flow with it.
We can flow with it.
But they can't dance with it. They bumping into each other and shit. We can flow with it.
We can flow with it. Everybody is in tune. Everybody vibrating to the same, you know, wanting to, you know, learn from their experience and share their experience and you know, try to help the youth and try, because we can't just throw our youth away no matter, because their parents didn't parent them. We got to do our part. You know, we can't teach an old dog new tricks, but we do got a future that's in those children. And if we want to see that course change, we got to think about the children. I got the goosebumps.
Lead example. Plain and simple. Lead by example. But we got to put it out there for them to see it.
Got to put it out there for them to see it. And that's the whole reason I said we can't let the negativity wash the internet like this. I don't even care about the views. I don't even care about none of that, but this one little good can outweigh all that bad, because that's love. Love can overcome fear. Love can overcome hate. Love can, a little pebble can ripple so far than all those videos that's pointing you think you this, or you think you're $1 million, and it ain't about thinking, it ain't about judging, it's about us being who we are. And no matter who we want to be, no matter who Kim want to be, Mason, Emmanuel, I love them just for them being them. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you ain't gonna get a man and you ain't gonna get a woman because you ain't fitting my mold and my fucked up trauma. You know, I'm not finna dance to that tune. I got that to deal with me by myself like everybody else. And the thing about it, people don't know opinions from ego, and then from people projecting their traumas and their sickness that they haven't dealt with and swept under the rug. A lot of people can't decipher that when they're listening to these videos or reading a book or hearing an influencer. They don't know how to point that out, that, oh, that's the way they feel about it because they must have had, a bad interaction somewhere.
They following the masses. And what is masses when you want to break down the words?
Asses.
More asses. And when you're following something, all you see is the ass. And that's another thing. When we look at a woman, we're looking at the society now. We're looking at the nastiest part of the body, the ass.
Yep.
That's where all the filth and the nutrition, that bad nutrition, comes out of. And then I'm not even going there because I was going to go on the horse's ass, which is what? A ponytail. And then the pony, I'm not going there because my white ancestors might be clocking on me because slavery, that's a deep thing. That's a deep thing. And we got history. And I did my family tree to find out that my great-great-great-grandfather was a white man, and he got his land from his participation in the removal of the Creek Indian Wars and the Creek Indians in the Creek Indian War. And when my great-great-grandmother was born, he killed her mother, was at the removal of the last Creek Indians.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's deep. So, Ashe, thank you for life. It's all I can say. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
Ashe, Ashe.
Yeah,
all right.
The ones who mean well, give me love. The ones who don't, hey.
Look, you go ahead, Emmanuel.
See, you got love here. You got love for me, Mason.
Yep.
Respect.
Yeah, you got love for me too.
Wendy, you want to say anything?
I'm listening.
No, you won't. No, you gotta talk. You can't. You gotta talk.
Man, I don't know. I looked at this as a time to reflect and say what it is that I was doing in my situation about the black love. Like, relationships I done had, they weren't perfect, but I still do not put down the black man. I might joke around and stuff, but I love our people. I just love our people.
Me too.
And I had two relationships. My first one was my daughter's father. She's the oldest. And our relationship didn't work out because, I was young and naive. Again, I was thirsty to get outside. So I ran to the first thing that showed me attention, even though it wasn't the attention that I didn't know at the time that I didn't want. Right. So I ended up in that situation. He already had children. My daughter's like number 8. All the red flags. The red flags are some of them I didn't know about until later on in life. So when I came into my next relationship, which is my son's father, I was really at that time feeling like I can do this. I can help this person. We can help each other. But the thing was, I wasn't taking into the account that his man wasn't on that level. He wasn't looking at trying to build at that time. That was more so me saying, whatever, it's cool. We're going to get through it. We're going to work through this. We're going to build. We're going to correct it. And then I started putting too much into it. And I started, going through that. I don't want to do it no more. I'm losing love. But it never took away the fact that I still cared about him. It was just a time for me to understand that you can't change somebody. So another aspect, I hear a lot of people say that. A lot of people think they can't change people.
Nope.
I thought I could. I thought I can give this man the love that he said he didn't receive, give him the attention and the help he needed. But at the same time, this was a narcissist just playing it on the empath. So I started reading more and more into stuff, trying to figure out why am I going through this? Why am I, meeting these certain kind of people? And then I found out about shadow work. So it's just like, again, I take in accountability. I was running from some stuff, thinking that me trying to project this help I want to give somebody else, I needed that help too. Because mentally, I was really having a lot of stuff. Reason why I was attracting a narcissist. I was being narcissistic in that relationship as well, because I knew all of the red flags that was going on, but I ignored them, thinking that I can help them, knowing that I need help myself. So, if I'm making sense, I would pretty want to say that for the young people, if you seeing these things and you going through it, don't rush into it. But sometimes y'all got to build on y'all. Y'all got to build with yourselves. Knowing thyself, know thyself for thyself.
Yeah, so, I think a lot of times that
myself. Sorry.
I'm sorry, man. I was just going to say on that, I think a lot of times when we're young, we get into relationships damaged thinking that we're going to help ourselves with somebody else.
Right.
And that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do nothing but set the seed and let it grow. And Martin Luther King, I did a lot of study on him. My mother was even baptized by his brother, A.D. King. But it's the difference between ignorance. It's conscious ignorance and conscious stupidity. Conscious ignorance is when you know and you continue to do. And conscious stupidity is just not knowing and just doing. So if we don't know knowledge, break it down, Kim, like you've been breaking stuff down to me. Knowledge.
Knowledge.
Know
and ledge.
the ledge so you don't fall.
And it gives you.
If you don't know that ledge,
it gives you what? Leverage.
Word.
It gives you leverage. Because look, knowledge, ledge, edge, leverage. Knowing how far to go, how far not to go, the pendulum thing, just an even playing field. Knowledge gives us power, which gives us an even playing field. But we got, like Wendy was saying, we didn't know. We were young, dumb, and naive, and we thinking we can fix problems. And you're right, sis. We were attracting what was broken in us through picking these young men that we thought we could fix, which was trying to fix ourselves, not realizing we were looking from the outside. We should have been looking from the inside. And the dark night is always about you going back within to the root, like you were saying in the very beginning, Mason, going to the root. Finding the root of your suffering, the root of your trauma, the root of your pain, the root of why you picking bad relationships. And then when you start picking healthy ones, now you know you're healing. You've healed enough now to know, oh, I don't have to pick this no more. I'm okay with what happened in the past. I've resolved that. I love myself now. It doesn't define who I am, but it shaped me. It contributed to who I am. So now those two selves can they can live together. And when they try to surface again, because it will at some point, it's going to keep doing it to see if you're staying on top of yourself. It's like a test. So it's going to keep trying to trigger you to see, are you still aware? Are you still aware of that trigger? Or are you going to forget and let it slip off and lose yourself again? And
that's
triggered the other night, Kim.
Huh?
Somebody triggered you the other night, Kim.
Oh, talking Mr. Kevin. Oh, Mr. Kevin. I thank Mr. Kevin, I don't know how many times on that. I was like, come back here. Come back here.
Yeah, you guys were wrong with Mr. Kevin.
He ran off and left me. He gonna leave me talking about you too difficult because I'm asking a question. Ain't we supposed to ask a question if we don't know?
Yes, clarification. You need clarification.
So that go to show, right, Corinne, that there had to been something he was looking for. He knew I wasn't it. He just was testing me to see what I was going to do. He knew I wasn't it. He knew I wasn't it.
Yes, exactly. And, what you're talking about in terms of that relationship piece that, you've got to do that dark night and that self-love and that self-growth. And I would even say it's a blessing to go through the dark night. And when you're in it, it doesn't feel like it. But when you come out on that other side, you are like,
absolutely.
Ashe, Amen, Ra. Exactly, exactly. It's time to post up and take a rest. But your view on the world and yourself and relationships shifts. And that is such a blessing, and I like how you talk about like the words are affirmations, and people do not understand that those words are affirmations. When you had mentioned earlier about I'm being celibate. That's an affirmation to you don't want a relationship. you never want one, you know, and you're speaking that into truth. So you're not gonna have a relationship.
Exactly.
You're not going to have that healthy relationship. And you know, so many people have said, you know, your thoughts become your words become your actions become your destiny, you know, and that really has to be taught more.
Yep.
Harness that into, along with your garden, Mason. Mason, I am a gardener. I'm a huge gardener. I didn't have one this year because I've been out of the country. I lived in a different country for 8 years. And so I didn't have time to get my garden going, but I did flowers instead. But I'm like you. I can food. I get stuff ready for the fall, the winter, you know, and start growing back in the spring. So definitely. And I do after school programs for kids, and gardening is one of them. Arts and drama, what's it called? Mindful practices. These are things that I have to sometimes fight people for because they don't see the value in it. And I'm constantly like speaking with them, showing them data, and you know how these things are the things that are really going to support children and build their knowledge and their self-esteem and their base, you know, because, you know, they come in oftentimes traumatized from the things they hear out in their lives, you know, and to see a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old who's defeated about life, that breaks my heart daily. Breaks my heart.
Don't come to Chicago because it's going to break you all the way down.
Damn. And you know, that's one thing that we all got to see in life, that, you know, no matter how hard it is that you think it is on yourself, there's always somebody out there that's got it 17,000 times worse than you.
So, right.
And if we had that single mother, it's a lot of kids that didn't have a mother.
Yep.
Or a father in their life.
That's right. Raised by the grandparents or the grandfather or the
Not
grandmother or auntie.
Some of us raised by the streets.
Yeah.
Some of I done seen 2-year-olds sold. Now, in that, what is the mentality of the motherfucker buying it?
Dang.
My language.
Oh.
What is the mentality of the person buying the child?
Buying the
Your
child.
name Macy? Your name Macy?
My name's Tadell. They call me Lil Tookie because I was raised in California. All I remember was riding on the back of Lil B's school blue bikes and seeing mountains on one side. So I was hanging with Tookie Williams. It is what it is. But I would never represent a gang because these niggas don't understand what a gang is all about now. A gang is this.
Man.
If somebody come in the neighborhood, if Miss Johnson lives in that neighborhood, if she ain't got no lights, she ain't got no food, we're going to take care of her. If it's me, Kim, and Emmanuel hanging out, talking about we represent this, we represent that. If Kim get locked up, I ain't gonna say me, but the figurative people, those other two ain't gonna go take care of little Kiana. Mm-hmm. They ain't gonna take care of, if Kim was a man, they ain't gonna take care of her woman.
Right.
They go get it. But they ain't gonna take care of her. That's not a gang. A gang was taking care of everybody in that neighborhood. We was controlling that neighborhood. And these kids nowadays, when I tell them that, they look at me all crazy.
Yeah, because they twisted it.
Because I ain't got no representation with that, because y'all don't even know where it's about. What it's about.
They twisted it. Yeah, it was for protection for the community. It was supposed to be before they turned on each other and started black on black crime or gang on gang crime, because it got infiltrated. It got infiltrated. Yeah, drugs infiltrated.
Money, guns, and drugs.
Money.
And that goes back to Africa. I got a friend from Togo. The Catholics, they went over there, they bought the land from the people on the west. When the Catholics started going over and taking over the rest of the land, they said, oh, we got this paper. We just bought that from them, so you got to go deal with them. Now, they got, the ones on the West got the money and they got guns. So now the ones that they can go start fighting with each other, killing off each other. The ones that don't want to fight, they put them in refugee camps and they send them across the world, to America, Spain, Europe, wherever. And they charge each and every one of them $50,000 a piece. A baby, if you're in a wound or whatever, they charge you $50,000 a piece. That's the game.
Wow.
And we don't even know that. Then when they get here, they tell the Africans, don't talk to the blacks because they'll rape you and rob you.
Yep. They turning us. They are definitely. They are turning us against each other for real. That's why I'm glad Madame is here, because she can give us some insight into Mama Africa and what they probably tell y'all about us. I don't know.
Everything Mason just said.
See, that's what I'm saying. And I never. But the good thing. I never had that experience in 25 years of working. All of them always treated me with respect. I never had problems out of them. That's why I was like, they lying. And I had one from Nigeria told me, it was a guy from Nigeria I used to work with. I was a nurse and he was a CNA. And I used to say, how is it over there? And he's like, we don't see the commercials that they show y'all over here. We don't get those commercials. That was the first time I heard it come out of, Mama Africa mouth, that they're not even showing us the same thing on the television. And that's where it comes from too. They've got different things playing all around the world. We looking like a pot of gold and a rainbow over here in the U.S. and they looking like starved out over there in Mama Africa.
Look at them now, Kim. They wearing the bling bling and they wearing the rapper's clothes. So come on now, but the rappers is the destruction of the black man, and then it's not bringing that Niger up, Niger, not the Nigga, but the Niger.
The Niger, yep, the Niger.
Yeah, it's not bringing us up. If we come together, they can be It's over.
They doing everything in their power to keep it from happening. They working overtime now. They working real
double
hard.
time, overtime, triple time.
Man, they trying. They got the
Emmanuel.
They got the police.
Quiet, because for me personally, for me to stay in alignment, I choose not to resonate with a lot of chaos out there. I've always been about the big picture. I feel a certain way. I feel like if you can't get outside to take to the streets and voice your opinion, but then at least get out your bed tomorrow morning and see if you can help your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your neighbor. Go out and do something out of love.
Yep.
You have to start. You have to put that fire underneath your butt and get to moving. You're going to lose it. And there's not going to be any children. There's not going to be a future for you.
Kareem, what did they do in Africa with the parents, the elders? Did they put them in nursing homes? Was it such thing as that?
Absolutely not.
I've even told people that too, that Mother Africa took care of their elderlies. We didn't snatch folks and throw them in the nursing home. We took care of them.
They outlived us and was still teaching us. They outlived us and was still teaching us.
Wow.
And they had the respect that we need to give them elders.
Yes.
What did
that's how I got started. That's how I got started that's how I got started with teaching kids how to grow. And neighborhood, the little black kids was getting slammed by the police. So I happened to run across one of the congressmen, a black man who did put it down. He said, here, you can have this whole block right there. So what I did, I grabbed all the kids and I said, look, we're going to grow this. And all the elders, you're going to take it to them because they ain't got no family that's going to come and bring them anything. And when them elders seen them little kids out there working and doing the good things, they smile.
Wow. Because that's their future. That's right, because that's their future.
And when they took it to them, I told them, y'all talk to them, respect them. And they give you something. They used to give him recipes. They used to give him seeds. Go plant that and bring it back to me, and I'll show you even better things to do with it. I taught them little niggas how to, the little kids, how to grow cotton. I taught them how to grow cotton. And told them that, you ain't got to go buy no Versace. Make your own Versace. Because I did take home ec, and I was raised by a woman, but I'm still a motherfucking man. They talking about home ec is a woman's thing. Class, I took it, so what?
And men do hair in Africa.
Oh, wow. So what, okay, Madame, when do the children leave the house in Africa? When are they,
The girls leave when they're married.
That's what I tell everybody. They kick kids out over here at 18, 16, and 15. And I told them in Mama Africa, they weren't leaving the house until they found a marriage, or they were getting married. And that's when they left.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked
But what? Ain't it the men? Ain't the men? Boys become men at the age of 13, and they give them a house at the edge of the hut. They give them a hut at the edge of the compound, and give them a wife. So when we hit puberty, that's when we're really supposed to be accelerating. But they had the knowledge to accelerate back then. Now we ain't even got the knowledge. We still in book school. And Kim, you broke it down about the 12th level, the 12th grade.
Yep.
But I feel like the religion is what actually did that, because on the continent you're taught first that you're a spirit having a human experience. So when you start operating in the mindset of I'm just human and forget that you are a spirit, you forget everything. You've been taken from the root.
Oh, Holy Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. What happened to y'all? Because we all come from y'all. It's a man, woman, and child.
The Holy Ghost is the woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit. That's why the religion is no goddess, it's no female in there, really, that they're honoring the goddess. It's like they blacked her out. But she's there, invisible. But a lot of people that study religion don't know that the Holy Spirit is the feminine energy. It's the female. It's the one that houses the energy.
Mm-hmm.
That can bring beings through the portal. That got that that serpent.
Come on.
The
Come on
serpent.
with it. Break it
And
down.
that's why I'm like, they're not reading. They don't, they're. And again, it's no disrespect to no parent, because we can't help that our parents wasn't taught. And so we wasn't taught. And now we all coming into this at the age, some young fellas and young women come in real early in the 20s with the knowledge. Then some of us come in with the 30s, and then some of us come in with the 40s. I didn't get it till in the 30s. With like the early 30s. I didn't do it at all in the 20s at all. I was indoctrinated in the 20s of my life with Christianity, which is
when
why.
did Tupac die?
Huh?
When did Tupac die? Was it 95, 96?
95 or 96, yep. Somewhere.
That's when I always woke up, because listening to that music, I almost wouldn't been here.
Wow.
I didn't have spiritual protectors, because that album Machiavelli, that gunfight at the end, I was like, oh, that sounds good. Because I had bass and shit. I was like, I want to be in a gunfight. I was in one. And I made it.
See, you spoke, but you spoke that on your life. You see what you said. And I meant, it's funny. It's funny you said that, because here 2 years ago, I met a woman at the office that came down from somewhere, maybe Louisiana, and she was broke up. And we was just in the office chit-chatting, because I'm friendly at the Starbucks machine is up there, and we're talking. And she told me, she was like, I had always wanted to, she had I guess they smoked or whatever they was into. And she said, I always wanted to say, I wanted to see what it felt like they got shot. Do you know she raised her pants leg up where her thigh is and showed me where a couple of bullets where she did actually get shot? That's how powerful words are. Like she wanted to know, and it happened. And like you, she lived to tell about it.
Mm-hmm. And they still had VCRs back then, so I started getting tapes. Ashra Kwasi, Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine, Dr. Ben. Those was the people that I started listening to back then.
Oh, yeah.
And they told me, what you speak, you manifest into life.
Oh, don't forget Dr. Delbert Blair.
Dr. Delbert Blair, yes.
And Brother Layla Africa, Dr. Layla Africa.
Yep.
Come on now.
Yep.
Oh, and I'm going to throw one on y'all. Dr. John E. Moore.
I think I heard of John E. Moore. I don't know if I got his books in there or not, a book or two.
He's the hobo doctor. I don't think he got no book, but he used to take everybody and walk them in the cities and show them the things right there, dandelion, tree barks.
Oh, yeah, I know. I haven't heard about him.
he was confirmation about Martin Luther King because I heard it before. Actually, I read Georgia Power's book, and he was confirmation that he tricked us.
Wow. Go
to my page.
That led us
I ain't trying to
not that.
my page, but go to my page and my playlist and look up Johnny Moore. Dr. Johnny Moore.
Okay.
Because I can't keep all this to myself.
You can't.
I'm here to spread it.
You can't, and that's why you see me out here spreading it, because I can't keep it to myself either.
Our heads will go poof.
I know. We'll be like, oh, we got to release that knowledge. We got to get that off the top of the dome, baby. You got to get that off. See, that's what a lot of people, they're selfish with knowledge, caring and sharing. And anytime you're given a lot of knowledge, you're supposed to share it and give back, whether it's a youth, a middle age, or whoever is attentive to it, whoever is receiving and receptive to it. You're supposed to pass that nugget on, whether it's a book, whether it's just a little drop of a nugget, and let the spirit do what it do. It ain't for you to try to, oh, I ain't gonna give it to this person. I ain't gonna give it to this person. I ain't got time to be worried about it.
Exactly.
I'm trying to get it off. I'm trying to get it off the press.
Yes.
So the pressure can come off the brain.
I know one thing, when you get that real information, like I'm probably in Facebook jail now, I don't know, but I don't share, you know what I'm saying, naked pictures, no, none of that stuff. I give information, and next thing you know, I'm getting 30 days. I'm like, dang, what you gonna say? I can't talk about NASA. I can't talk about the shop. I can't talk about the Transformers. I can't talk about nothing. Even no matter how many words, how many type of ways I try to spell it, no matter how many ways I try to explain myself and give it to them the most natural possible, blocked or broadcast interrupted. So that's why I was like, I really don't care about going to the metaverse, because I've seen it played out.
Yep, I don't want it either. I'm probably gonna get off of there, because I sure don't want nothing to do with him. He done locked me up in Facebook. Huh?
I had asked one question. I asked, why do they always skip over timeline information? Like, I asked, what happened to the early 1800s? Why won't they tell us what happened? Because I'm thinking about it. I live in Chicago, and I'm seeing all these old structures. I'm currently reading this other book. I was like, wait a minute. When they show how these buildings used to look, they didn't build no World's Fair in 2 years. That stuff was already here. So why do they not want to tell us what happened in the early 1800s? They had a lot of stuff. You ask the right question, you get 30 days. I got the question.
Because you was the fair. We were the fair.
Exactly. Because we built that. They said it looked like Rome palaces. No, they was already here. We already had the technology. They already had holograms. They already had devices that showed you the spiritual world. They already had time travel. We already had all of that. It was called the World's Fair. And when I'm looking at the map, I'm like, look at all the tragedies that's happening. They're happening in the cities where it's a bunch of us at, because for some reason, I feel like we tapping back into the 1800s. So just like they finna go into this new metaverse stuff, they not gonna tell them about what happened in the early 2000s or the late 1900s, because they have to put a gap there so the next generation can try to be confused again and try to figure out what's going on. It's like the Bible. They won't even tell us what happened to Jesus in his adolescence. You're going to skip and go straight to 33. Why is you lying? So when I started reading about the book, I started finding out, like, wait a minute.
Yep.
It was a bunch of giants. As a matter of fact, I'm like, them ain't no spirits, no angels. Them other life forms, them other beings.
Yep.
Coming here teaching us how to do all this stuff, but now it's considered demonicism if you tap into your ancestors and learning this and that. Like, that don't even make sense. Like you said, why would my God want me to be dumb? I used to ask her a lot when I was younger. I'm like, what you mean I can't question God? Like, that's just stupid. Why would my God want me to be dumb as hell? That don't even make sense. The point of putting me here for me to be dumb and I know nothing.
Exactly.
Religion.
That don't make sense.
Love the master. Kim, can we come together and get a group like we did this? This is love. I from the bottom of my heart, and my wife ain't listening, but I love all y'all.
Yes, we can.
Can we come together and get a group? Because you know that one family came together and bought a city down in Georgia.
It was another.
We need to come together.
Yes, we do.
We need to come together and get a group to come together to give these kids, because back in the days, and I didn't have that experience, but a lot of people used to go down to Alabama, Georgia, and see their cousins and stay there for weeks. These kids don't have that experience here.
Nope.
And we need that. I try to get another story. That, everything my statues are sitting on behind me.
It's a trust issue.
Huh?
It's the trust issue, though.
True.
When you got to throw trust into it, you ain't got no trust in the beginning. If you got to throw that word trust out there, you ain't got no self-trust and you ain't got nobody else trusting. If you can't trust yourself, how you going to trust anybody else? That cloth behind me is a tree bark.
Low vibration. Not trusting is low vibration.
We need to start, but see, they need examples. So it's like what Wendy said and what Mason said. We got to come together and show them you can have trust because of the programming. That's the first thing. And keeping up with the Joneses, they dismantled the trust between us. And so, and yeah, we had some snakes in the grass and people do us dirty from, whatever, right? Life experience. But you got to make an effort. And nothing gets done if we don't make an effort. This was an effort today. This was actually setting it up and making an effort to do something, to come up with some solutions. People just need examples. Not everybody in the world ain't trusting. A lot of us is. And that's what I've been saying. If you had two families, no matter what your color was, and both of y'all didn't have, you had your 9 to 5, but you didn't know how to come together and get a business started so both of y'all families can eat. Say you got best friends, you both married, got children. Why would your 700, 800 credit score, wouldn't you and the two men of those families go buy a franchise and make some money for your families while y'all work on the 8 to 5 or whatever, and then hire a manager and a supervisor to run it? Our problem was we thought we had to physically be there. And we don't have to physically be there. You pay somebody else to go physically be there. And then once the money start rolling in, guess what? Now you branch out, and now that y'all got this one you're sharing. Now you both can go get one individually. And now you can go get more. And before you know it, you off the plantation. And I've always said that, why won't we come together and pull together and help each other out? You both sitting on 700, 800 credit scores and doing absolutely nothing with it. Won't buy no land, won't buy a roll raggedy house and rent it up and make a rental house out of it. Nobody want to put their stuff together, but it's like Wendy said, they don't trust. And then it's like you said, Mason, that's because they don't trust themselves. So that means they got some unhealing in there.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not prejudicing nothing, but a white man told me, he said, why are we out here fighting for credit? Save up your pennies and get what you need. Don't depend on nobody else to say it's okay for you to get. But he started with pennies. He started with dollar bills, and he just broke it down into pennies. A lot of us ain't even have that bootstrap. They say tie up your bootstrap and do something. A lot of us didn't have boots.
Yeah. So it is we need to do something like that. Whether it's 100 acres, throw a pig on that joker, or a cow, or a horse. And you get tax free. You throw a cow, or chicken hen, or beehive on that joker, some roosters, okay? And you ain't got to pay the taxes. And you got 100 acres tax free.
We can throw religion on there and definitely tax free.
Yeah, we can throw we can show open up a church. We sure can. Kem Arts University Episcopal Sanctuary.
Okay. Gone with Mama Nature.
We're a formed traditionalist.
What a traditionalist.
Formed traditionalist. I love it.
What a traditionalist.
I would say for anyone who wasn't trusting at this point, look at this as the example. We're all individuals who came together tonight, and we're getting along just fine, laughing and having a good conversation, discussing, not pointing at each other, not arguing, not being envious of one another, but getting along lovingly. It's that easy.
Easy.
city.
I'll leave my phone here. I'll come on.
Okay.
Fires up the first
Everything.
phone here so that I ain't dealing with none of these crazy apps and any of these negative influences so that we can get back to her.
Yep.
Back to spirituality.
Now, how did Marcus Garvey gather all those millions of people and there wasn't no internet and phone?
Oh, that is my guy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
This is
But you speak, the ancestors like Kem, we got the antenna right there. Her name is Lakeisha Williams. We got the antenna. She's in tune, highly in tune.
Yeah,
Okay? But she can't do it by herself. I can't do it by myself.
absolutely.
And I can't go in these schools and teach them kids because they want me to write it down and they want to say that you can't do this and you can't do that. I go to the neighborhood and I see kids out there, I pull them in.
Yep. Yep. We gotta save the children, y'all. Wasn't that Michael Jackson? Somebody had something talking about save the children. We got to save the children. Because if we don't save the children, the government gonna have our children. And if we leave them up to their hands, we ain't gonna have no generations. That's what's gonna happen to us. We ain't gonna have a next line of generation of ancestors. If we just gonna toss them over to the government, we gotta save our own children. In the event we saving ourselves, we're saving our future, which is our children. And they say what they say, go back and teach the youth versus teaching the older, because we set already in our ways, right? With the programs. It's easier to get them because, like you said, they just got here in the spiritual realm. So they're more pliable, they're more flexible, they're more, not no hate, got to them yet and poisoned them yet. So we got to save those children and teach those children at these delicate 0 to 12 years or 0 to 7 years where it's most crucial. So they got a core values and a moral compass, on how to do things and right from wrong and stuff. And of course, learning, we can teach them the mistakes we made so that they don't make those mistakes, hopefully.
Yeah, because we're learning ourselves. And like you said, they've been here before.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Like in African spirituality and African proverbs, they've been here before. They got a trade, they got a gift. It's just up to us and find out what that is and enhance that gift.
Yep.
Confirmation.
Yep. We gotta enhance their gift. Don't bash them for what they want to do, because they little spirits know what they came here to do. We as the adults don't know what they came here to do. And we always, you playing ball, you playing sports, you running track, they ain't come here to do that.
I was gonna say that's why we have naming ceremonies.
Oh, tell us about the naming ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for instance, like when I was pregnant with my daughter, so you allow the ancestors to name your child. So you call the ancestors forth from all four corners, and then the elder is given the name to name that child. And whatever that child's name is, definitely that is their destiny. That is their purpose. That is their design. They will be that.
They go back to the ancestors. I mean, my name, Mason Gone with Mama Nature. Ojutanji, my family's got a village in Sheldon, South Carolina. It's an African American heritage village in America. Pour water, actually the master priest would spit onto the sand and the dirt, and whatever would land out right there, he would draw it, and it would be that child's name, because the ancestors and the nature mama would give it back, because we go back to her, we come from her, we go back to her.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Sorry, Mason, you seem like you got emotional.
Wow, that was beautiful.
That is beautiful. There I was sitting in the hospital like, hurry up and send me a name, please.
Really? Oh no, I ushered the ancestors, and the doctor was like amazed. I played the traditional music and everything. And she was like, this is your first child? Child came out with a boom. She was just like, this is amazing. I actually had the doctor in there doing traditional dancing.
What? See there?
See, that's beautiful, man. I had a book and everything, but I didn't just name my daughter just to name her. My daughter's name has a meaning. I still waited, but it was last minute, but it came. I mean, with my son, it came in my dream with my son, but for my daughter, I was like, come on, send me something. It came though. Her name is God Gracious Gift. It's Kiana Alea. So it's life.
the love. I'm one of them kids my grandmother named me, and even though she was very religious, but Tadell is Genesis 14, King of Nations, and I never thought I was a king of nothing, but a king is not here to rule, is out here to do what the people need. And we think kings are here to rule, but that's not what we're here to do. We're here to assist the people what they need.
It's so you know, Madame, can you educate us? Because I'm so glad Mama Africa in the house. I don't know what to do. Can you educate us on the king, the queen? Now the etymology of the queen is a bad word, but what do y'all call in Mama Africa? What high reference, or is it prince or princess? Is it king or queen? Is it gods or goddesses, Netarus? What is it with the culture? Because this is our culture and our identity. And the main thing that this disconnect is because we are disconnected from the motherland. And so we as Black people need to know our roots. We need to know that we share the same thing, but you know, the misuse of these words is what I'm saying. So how are y'all taught from the motherland those different, do they mean anything to y'all, or do you call one or the other, or don't use one or the other?
It honestly depends on the clan, the tribe that you come from. So for instance, like you use the word like love, but love has nothing to do with bringing families together when it comes to like the royalty. Everything is based on your family's journey because it's ancestor based. So whatever it is, like my last name, it has a meaning. I'm not going to say it, but it has a meaning. So when you hear that last name, you already know that's what those people do. That's what they stand for. This is their line. This is their blood. This is their royalty. This is where they go on the totem pole.
Oh, okay.
So you know that family goes with that family. So you already go with the sense of, I know where I belong. That's where I'm going. This is who we mix with.
Wow.
Yeah.
And see, we're not taught that at all down here in the USA.
Yeah,
No
it
wonder.
has nothing to do with love.
No wonder we're so disconnected. So is it a spirit? It can't be a spirit. It is a spirit thing?
It is a spirit thing. Because all this stuff is orchestrated through the ancestors and the elders. That's why you have to pay a dowry. That's why you have to go and knock. And make sure you do the list of everything that's on that list. You go and knock, and all these ceremonies, and how long it takes for you to actually get married, and all of those other things, because everything starts with spirit. Like in spirituality, the first line of defense, what do? Protect your energy.
Yep. And see, we so detached over here, and that's why I'm so glad we're having this, because now people can see, wow, we fucked up. Like I've always been saying, we all sick over here. I've been saying it for the longest, we all fucked up. You just verified that I'm not fucking crazy, so I'm loving this. I told y'all ass I ain't crazy. I told y'all ass I wasn't crazy.
With the American psychology, though, it's a like, again, they do not talk about what happened in the 1800s. I really believe I'm Native. No offense against the Black term, but I don't use the Black term due to what I learned in law.
Right.
So I'm Native. I know I was already here, born on this soil, so I come from. That's my bloodline. But they detached us from our name, our natural tongue, everything that we was already doing before they arrived. Mm-hmm. We've been detached, and they're steady detaching us, especially when you're leaving out giant gaps in history.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times our ancestors were so traumatized, they don't even tell us about it. So when I'm coming up, again, I always ask questions. So if I can't ask certain questions, not even about the Bible, but about family facts, if you get offended by that, now I got to try to weed through my DNA to see, why would you be offended by that? A lot of stuff we don't even talk about. We don't talk to our daughters about sex. We might go through the, don't let nobody touch you right here, right there, but why? What happened? Tell me what went on, and why does this person act that way, think that way? Like, why does this person look that way? Talk about some incest. Come on, let's be real.
Yep.
We don't get deep into the reason why a lot of us are so detached from each other.
Yeah.
Because the older people in my generation, from my family, they ain't talk about that stuff on both sides. We found this stuff out through the cool auntie, the one they say is crazy, the one that smoked weed, or through your cousin or the uncle that was real, the ones that was like, the ones that they say was crazy and distant are the ones that have the real information. And you wonder why they stay away, because they don't want to be bothered with foolishness.
Wow.
That
when we have a baby, I'm sorry. So like for instance, when we have a baby girl, when she's born, she gets a waist bead. So that waist bead stays on her until she's maybe 5 or whatever age. And then when she gets her cycle, she gets another waist bead. So each time that you're going through these rites of passage, it's being explained to you what you are. You're a woman, you're growing into a woman, your femininity, and this is what's going on, and this is why you're experiencing this. All of those things are being taught. So if you misuse it, it's intentional.
And it's only elder that can take that bead off, ain't it?
Exactly.
Wow. And see, I made waist beads when I started, 4 or 5 years ago when I started to build Kem Arts. I started off making those bracelets, the crystal bracelets and waist beads.
You was in tune and didn't even know what you was doing, huh?
Well, I knew it originated from West Africa because I read up on it. But we glamorize it here. We fuck shit up over here. We glamorize it. We want to show it, and you're not even supposed to show it really. But some women show it, or I wear it on outside and did yoga on it. But those are the ones I wanted to wear on the outside. But it's supposed to be a private thing, even if it's a husband and wife thing. It's for you and your spouse. The waist bead. And then some do it for weight control to keep them from gaining weight and watching their weight. So it was different reasons. I read up on it and studied it. But I'm so glad you did mention it because I did used to make them. I still got some stuff in there. I make them every once in a while when I want to clear my mind.
Okay. The immaculate birth and immaculate conception is, as I was told, is when a woman and a man have both virgins, and she becomes impregnated after their first sexual encounter, and that's the immaculate conception. I don't know, but that's what I've heard, and that's why they put the men out at 13 because they come into puberty, and they allow them. They've already arranged for them to be married to a certain person in the family. The white people, not disrespect white people because I got it in my blood, but they try to do it and like, oh, we're gonna put you with the cousin. But they go first and second cousin, don't go further enough. And that's where retarded babies used to start coming in, and they put them in dungeons. Them cruel motherfuckers. That's all I can say. And we was just misinformed. And if we don't know, you only know what you're taught.
But that's where a lot of our traumas come from, because it's like the untold stories, but it's the ones that we deal with in the dark night. The skeletons in the closet, so to speak. That's where those trauma wounds come from. That's why we pick people that we feel we can fix, but really we're trying to fix ourselves through the people that we're picking, because we're the ones that's, not wanting to face ourselves or still sweep stuff under the rug, whatever it is. You don't have to tell people your story, but you got to resolve it. You got to find forgiveness, right? So it's all about us forgiving ourselves and dealing with that dark night. And like you said, Kareem, when you come out, it's the most beautiful thing. But hell is hell on wheels when you're up in that bitch. You ain't wearing no makeup. You ain't looking pretty. Hell, and I done came out a time or two and I'm still like stunned. I'm still not, fuck that. This shit is fucked up. I don't know what the fuck this hee ha ha, let's have a shing ding is, because ain't shit funny no more, okay? Ain't nothing sweet no damn more. It's real. It's real, damn it. Fuck the sweet, god damn it. I'm glad to make it out the bitch alive. Well, tell about it, okay? That's as sweet as your ass gonna get from Kem. That's it. I ain't got nothing sweet. What the hell you want me to do? I'm sweet as pie, though. I'm sweet as pie. I know how to talk to people. I know, you know what I'm saying? That's the sweet part. Not projecting is the sweet part. The sweet part is you not projecting now what you know you had misunderstood at first. Now you have an understanding about, and you're not projecting that on nobody else. You just assume stay away from people than to project that negative energy on people. and douse them with something because you've healed from it. So you got to know they got to be healing from theirs. If somebody come along and they start projecting and spewing on you, then you got to know, oh, they got some shit they got to deal with. Oh, let me roll. Excuse. You know, and you hit one of them. Talk to you later. You know, because you want to get
like.
Yeah, you want to get out the way. You want to get out the way. But yeah, I mean, growth is a beautiful thing, y'all. And if we're not growing, we're not doing something right. If we're not growing, we're not doing something right. You shouldn't be in the same place a year from now. That's plenty of time. But, you know, it could be 6 months or it could be 3 months, but certainly a year. We shouldn't be where we was last year. We should be able to see and measure some growth from now and to a year ago.
Yeah.
Whether it's personal.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day, learn something new every day. Otherwise, you'll be stuck in the same boat.
And that's why I like to talk to different people. And that's why I like to ask questions. And you see me, I'm asking madam. I'm like, I want to hear it. I want to hear it. Because I know it, you know, we take stuff and run with it and people do what they see the crowds do. But I'm not that person to follow the crowd, as you can tell. I'm going that way. Y'all can have that way because I'm going to go that way. Because remember, it's the path least traveled. It's the path least traveled. It's the uncharted direction that people are afraid to go in, and they wait for that one person to go that way, and then they all come that way. So we're all of us here tonight is doing that path of least resistance, that uncharted path, because that's what I said, green flag. I didn't say red flag, I said green flag. Green flag. And that goes to show that we can be in the same area, personal. This is our personal, like if we were at a table, at a whole round table together, this is what it would be like for all of us to be in the same, you know, space. We're just virtual, but we're still all here. And we can get along and we can talk about and we can build and we can take something away from everybody, experience and just life in general and learn without pointing, projecting, or bashing and belittling, you know, and everything's negotiable. Yeah, life is negotiable. And everything's a risk. But like you said, why won't we get some land? Why won't we get something together for some children? Because you know what? Life's a risk. When we wake up, it's a risk. When we go to work, it's a risk. So we are never without a risk. So people that always make those excuses up, it's just they don't want to do it. It's not that it can't be done. They're afraid to do it because the fact that you can get up, brush your teeth, walk outside your house, that's a risk. Anything can happen. Go to
People
work.
tell me every day.
Go to work. That's a risk.
How you doing?
Huh?
At work, they say, how you doing? And all I do is like, I'm doing good. I woke up this morning, I'm smiling, I'm able to breathe on my own without a breathing machine. And my damn, they say, they put the image on us that say all Africans are black and black is blue, 666, dark as carbon. But you look just like my mother, my cousin, and my aunt.
Yep.
Pure beauty.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. This has been really, really, this has been uplifting. I like the flow. I like what we're talking about. And like I said, everybody channeling what they need to channel. And your ancestors are proud. Your ancestors are really proud of us. They're really proud of us, believe it or not, y'all. Doesn't matter what, we got white in us too, shit. Our grandmas looked at white, goddamn it. You know, we've been on the plantation with Master, so we already know we got mixed. We're native, indigenous, aborigine. We don't go by the term black, but for those that lack that understanding.
You know, I'm 100% black.
Girl, hush. See there, that's her. You know, and so we know
They said also motherfucker.
we know that
They
we
don't know the term.
yeah, we know that we know the term, and I'm using it lightly because all of us don't have the understanding of Aborigine or Native American like Wendy was saying. So we have to say black, quote unquote, because people that ain't knowledgeable like all we are, they would be like, what, huh? What's that? We ain't Indian. Yes, you are. You the first ones, okay? But they won't understand Aborigine or indigenous, most of them, not all of them, not everybody that will come across. So black just puts us all in that boat that got the brown skin, right? So we know as a general term black, but it's not black. That's not the right proper word for us. But that's what we're gonna go with. Or if I say African American, then they might say, okay, African American just means you the Africans that live in America. But the original name is a Kibulon. It's not even Africa. Europeans made Africa up. It's a Kibulon. It's utopia. It's
How many birth certificate changed?
Huh?
Because I seen my grandma used to say Negro on their birth certificate.
Mine says Negro for my mom and dad. Just in 73. Really? In 73, mine says Negro for my mom and my dad.
Y'all says Negro?
Wow.
Mine says black.
Yes.
My children says nothing.
I'm a 73, baby.
My grandchildren's, they don't even have a classification for them. So that's 3 different classifications that's telling you they're wiping that shit out of there.
Yeah.
Wow.
How did we go from Negro for me as my parents, black, I'm black on hers, and now my grandchildren don't have no nationality for the mom and dad?
Because in the metaverse, they can be whatever they want to be.
See?
Absolutely.
See?
Listen to Yapa Bay. Yapa Bay breaks down the dictionary, and it says black is, the original definition of black is those lacking color. And motherfucker, we use that term so loosely.
Yeah.
Motherfucker was when they used to tie up a woman.
Yep.
And blindfold her and send her in a room, and then blindfold a man and send him in there to do it.
Yep.
You might be doing your own mother.
Yep. A son might be screwing their own mother. Yep. And so we always do the mofo and the mother. I wish a motherfucker would. Yeah, we do all kinds of stuff ass backwards. But but we know, most of the part, we know where it comes from. But a lot of people that use it don't know where it's coming from. But we know where it's coming from. It don't make it politically right or wrong, or right to quite say it. But we do slang shit all the time or whatever. But you're right. That's exactly what it meant. So we all got shit to heal from. And it's a beautiful thing that we can talk and joke about it, even if it may not be a joking matter, but when you got peace, that stuff ain't disturbing you. Not so much. As long as nobody ain't trying to cross you or hurt you, you don't really, like, you got bigger fish to fry, other shit to do. I got other shit I can be doing.
I don't got bigger fish to fry. I'm with all the petty. Let's do it.
Girl, hush. Go where you was going. Where you was at. Go back over yonder. Go
I'm petty to mud.
Look, go. I'm gonna need you.
It's just, when people try to play with you and they think they gonna get away from it, but they don't know you got the ancestors and all the wrath of God with you. Keep trying, because I swear to God, you ain't seen nothing like me before. Oh, Lord, let's do it. I'm ready. I ain't been able to act like this in a minute.
Like, where she come from, y'all? I don't even know where she came from.
I hear you.
I'm not cheering, woman. I got to tend to them niggas.
Go tend to my grandbabies. Get on out of here.
Came from you.
She done popped in here out of nowhere. Like, I missed the whole conversation and done popped in here with something to say.
Did not.
Anybody want to say anything else? Anybody want to bring anything prevalent up? I love you too, Manuel. Anybody want to bring anything up that they want to discuss? Free floor. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to be floating. I'm levitating.
Honestly, I hear from Madame a lot more.
Me too, Madame. Come on, Madame.
Well, I'll just add a little bit. So I was going to say another way that we build trust amongst each other in the family. We have this thing that some people call Azusa, our family share. So each family member will come each week and put in a certain amount of money in the pot. So then over a amount of time, then each family member gets that pot at a certain time. So that's how you also build family wealth.
Yeah.
They call it
I heard of that game. I heard of that.
Yeah, money
Yeah.
pyramid, man. They using our words and we don't even know they're using our words.
Yeah, but see where they got the original word from? You see that? We call it pyramid over here.
Okay, I never heard that before.
That's because we call it pyramid scam. They ain't doing it the right way.
Oh, because they're not doing it. Okay.
But you know what, Madame, you know why? You know why it's called it? Because with that pot, what you're doing, y'all honor trust. And it's like what Wendy said. It's we don't trust each other, so we'll say, it's a scheme, it's a scheme, it's a pyramid scheme. But y'all have already developed that trustworthiness. We over here, crabs in the barrel, ain't got no trust most of the time. Or you got to find the right people that you can trust to do that with, and it will work exactly how it's working for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to
Or
have
even at the,
trustworthiness. Yeah.
I was going to say, or even at some of the ceremonies, I'm not going to name the specific ceremonies, or some of the ceremonies, say for instance, when the priest come out he'll pick out certain people that he's going to bless. And so when he blessed them, they get sprayed. They get sprayed with money. And so that money gets passed throughout the community again, where I see here in the U.S. it's just given to the minister at church or thrown on the altar or whatever, where we actually give it to the people.
Wow. See there? They twisted everything. What is the take on, now I'm finna really get off the subject. Are you finished before I ask this question?
Sure.
You're like, what now, Kim? Damn, I told you I'm finna ask. Nobody won't say I didn't ask while I had the chance to ask. What about the traditions of, okay, since we're on Black Healthy Love and the world is into wifey and side chick and side bro and husband, you know, and polygamy and polyandry. What is Mama Africa's take on all that too, as part of is that to save the no, you hush, Kiana. Is that to save
No, he was saying bye. I was saying bye.
Oh, you were saying bye. Okay, Manuel, I already know who you was talking about. Okay, bye. See you later. What about good night, and thank you for attendance. Thank you for participating. You can watch the rest of it on the YouTube channel. It'll still be up there.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mason. Or Chidel. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was nice meeting you.
Okay. So what is about? Is that what was the purpose of that? Do you know anything about that? Is that to benefit the village, like a man with two wives or a woman with two husbands, or did they see the side chick American way? That's unhealthy is usually the man just messing around with the woman, but not benefiting that household. Only everything going back to that wife. So how is that beneficial? Have we twisted it and messed it up?
I would say it depends, because now you have some younger people doing the same thing. So, for instance, my great-grandfather, he had 13 wives. So all 13 of those wives, everyone had the same thing across the board. Everyone has to have the same thing, no matter what financially they had to be taken care of. So that's for one, to produce the children, to farm the land, and do whatever else that needs to be done to take care of the community. So outside of that, you will have, say, in different practices, where they'll have additional wives, again, because they need to build the community. I mean, you can't expect one woman to have like 50 children. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Or, for instance, if a person is married and the husband dies, so then she needs to be taken care of. So the husband's brother or uncle or someone will come and marry her and continue to take care of her and those children as well. So that's how you also can end up with multiple wives.
Okay.
And next thing that some people don't talk about, there's also women that have multiple husbands.
Yeah, because they always pushing the man, but I've seen the post with the women. But you're right, they leave that part out, you know, because they want to have the cake and pie and eat it too. I understand that.
Mhm.
And I knew what it was about, but a lot of, we mess things up and twist it over here. And people just take what, like in the Bible, they take what they want to take out of it and discard the rest, the most important part that shouldn't be changed. They ignore it or they change it to suit them. So I figured that's what was going on.
But there was also some, some same sex going on, because you might have a family where there's not enough men and there's only women, and so they will dress the woman and disguise her as a man, so that way the family does not lose their property.
Oh, so that dressing was to keep the property?
Mm-hmm. And then she becomes a female king.
So they just basically raised her as a boy.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, this is after adulthood has happened.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
See that? We got a lot to learn. They don't tell us these things.
But then some people will flip that and make it homosexuality when it has nothing to do with sex. It's all about keeping the property and keeping the family's wealth.
Wow. That is interesting. Mason,
come on, Madden. Come on.
He's like, give me more.
That is
I told this before, now this ain't number confirmation.
That's why I wanted to bring it up. I was like, since we're talking about relationship, that is a part of the relationship. But when you talk about it in America, over here, then we got they just want it to be about the men having more than the wife, not the women having more than one husband.
Mm-hmm.
Jump off subject real quick. Y'all see the halo?
Over you, yeah.
Bro.
I see it over the front. Just let your soul grow.
Oh, no, she didn't. Don't come to her. That's crazy.
You know what? Because you know what? So really, madam, if you really, really, really looked directly at what we just mentioned, that's a wife and a side chick.
Exactly.
That ain't nothing but a wife and a side chick right there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Let's do that again.
Huh?
Keon, look at you. Wrap it up with the thorn.
I tried. It might not stay now. Oh.
That's so interesting, y'all, because I wondered, I was like, we ain't telling the right. We took a lot of things from over there and we renamed it. We already know we renamed stuff, but I just wanted to connect the culture of wife and side chick to that poly stuff. But not
here it's a sneaky, but there is open. It's the understanding. Your options is not being taken away.
Exactly.
This is what's going on. Everybody has that understanding of this is this and this is it. This is your role and this is your role. There's no need for jealousy because we both have the same thing.
Wow. Now
your day, your week, or whatever.
Who does the picking?
The Queen Mother.
The Queen Mother does the picking of the housewife, the sister wives?
Yes.
Not the man.
Not the man.
See there? That's the lie right there. That's the lie right there. Because I figured the woman have to get along with somebody to do something so sacred. And it's the woman's energy that's important, not the man's.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's the woman's energy. So we got it twisted.
Mm-hmm. To get confirmation, the women were actually the judges. They laid down the law.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's right. And the man was...
And the man is the enforcer of that law.
Absolutely.
See, that's what I'm saying. But
subject, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
I'm thinking of what she's saying. It kind of connects to. You said the side chick and the wife, and she was saying that the woman picked. And now I'm thinking about. This is just my mind. But in American culture, because they take everything and manipulate it, it's pimps and hoes.
Yep.
Because the bottom bitch picked the females, and he's still collecting everything. So the vibration is still on a low level, but it's the same skill. Like we really don't separate a lot of shit from each other. We really still keep up a lot of customs. We just start manipulating things to
yeah.
But that into the house, to the whole family.
Yep.
Exactly.
And that's what hurts the whole family, because if you're in agreement from the beginning that you want multiple wives, that should have been addressed before you got married.
Absolutely.
Because even if you don't ever do it, it should be addressed. There is a possibility that you may, but if you choose to, I will come to you first.
Absolutely.
Instead of it being a secret thing over here and a secret thing over here, and then when you find out, you're more hurt because the person never gave you the opportunity to participate or to say, no, I don't want that type of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody didn't do it. Some people just want one person. Some people just, can be settled down and not deal with anybody else. That takes,
and don't want. Some are just greedy and just don't want to share the love and bring it back to each other.
Yep.
Find everything.
Yep.
Not in by ourselves. We got to be with somebody else.
Yep. And that's what I said. That I knew it was something. I was like, we messed something up, because the culture says something totally different. But over here, it's something. You can tell it's ego if you only got the men picking and not the woman picking.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they think the woman gonna pick somebody ugly. I don't know. Or somebody, you know what I'm saying, that they ain't gonna want. But it ain't even that. It's just that they got to be able to get along to make something like that work. They got to know. That's so interesting. That is so interesting.
Yeah. You must have an understanding, because if not, you think about the pH balance will get off, because you need to be in sync with what you're eating, what you're drinking, and then spiritually what you're intaking and what you're believing.
Yep.
Exactly.
What you're manifesting, all of that.
Ooh. That right there, that combination can make a house fall down.
Yeah, you are.
It can.
Moment.
That's the light.
Tower moment. You're right. Tower moment.
Hey, Mom.
What?
I'm going to cut you off because I know this thing is going to cut off in 2 minutes.
Oh, it is? Okay, y'all.
Yes, I don't want it to interrupt you guys, so we're going to have to schedule another one of these.
Yes.
We'll cut off in the middle of it because we only scheduled it for a certain amount of time.
Oh my gosh, y'all. I have had so much fun. I hope YouTube enjoyed it live, and I've enjoyed it. I'm going to still work on trying to get this one up because it's going to look better not being recorded from my phone. But thank you all so much. I appreciate y'all. Peace, love, and harmony. Peace, love, and blessings. Hotep, namaste, assalamu alaikum, hotep, all the greetings in all the other languages. Y'all know what it is.
I need another husband now. Ask my wife.
And I'm giving everybody a hug. Y'all made this a terrific evening. Thank you all, Corinne, Mason, Emmanuel, my daughter, Kiana, Madame, and Wendy. Oh my God, we got to do this again, y'all. We got to do this again. I'm already got a sheet with the next one. Like, I'm ready to roll. Okay, we doing podcasts. We building, and we gonna just not build on virtual. We gonna build in real life and do, get together, buy some land or something.
Absolutely.
We gonna have to do something together. We gonna have to come start doing something together. Where it's gonna benefit our family.
You guys all have. Do they have your email?
Yeah, everybody has
We're
your
working
email.
behind the scenes to work out a time that actually works for everybody, so we can do this all the time.
Because this
Get that
is.
land free.
I know we need to find some land first. We gotta find us some land so we can build our little gardens on, or whatever you're gonna put on it.
I was in Meridian, Mississippi.
Who?
I was stationed in Meridian, Mississippi.
Oh my gosh, I'm from Macomb. Gosh, Meridian. What? And Mason, where are you from?
I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, but my family, my dad's side is from Grenada.
Grenada. Yeah, I heard of Grenada. Thank you, Corinne. Where you at, Corinne? Where are y'all at? I'm in Texas. Where y'all at, everybody, real quick? I'm in Texas.
I'm in Washington State.
Okay, Washington State. Mason?
Louisville, Kentucky.
Kentucky. Where you at, Wendy?
Illinois. I'm in
Illinois.
Chicago.
And Madame, where you at right now?
I am in Maryland.
Look at that. We went from the east to the west coast. Up to Chicago, down to Texas.
I'm getting up out of Chicago. I got to keep letting y'all know. It's a lot of dark energy here. I'm leaving. I guess.
Look, well, you come on then. Texas got plenty of room.
Well, everything's big in Texas.
There's a lot of roaches here.
Look, I don't care. Look, we got more people in Texas than everybody else got in them other states. It's plenty of room. We got a lot of land. We got a lot of land. It's a lot of land in Texas.
Yeah.
Don't let these Republicans fool y'all. It's a lot of land in Texas, honey, to be bought still.
I'm not. The Republicans, I'm on their side because these Democrats, these Demogorgons really fooling these people up here. I'm like, what? How slow can you be? I'm
Talk about it.
I'm sorry.
Talk about it.
Oh, I wish I would have got where Manuel said he was from, but I couldn't remember.
He said he's from the South Side.
Oh, Chicago.
Yeah. South Side.
I think he's still up there, right? Because he said, South Side Chicago. What?
South Side.
Y'all, the ancestors are proud. I'm proud. I'm happy. I hope everybody that's watching enjoy the conversation, the dialogue. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. You know, we just got to get up in there and do it. That's it. We just got to get up in there and do it.
It's Sunday night, and I feel alright.
Hey, where'd you get it from?
I can't sing though. She can sing. I can't. Oh my gosh. Any closing words? Anybody? What's the minute? Oh, Kiana. How many?
It's bad. PPT.
Yeah, it's past. I think we probably got like a minute or two before they cut us off.
They got cut off.
They gonna have to cut us off. They gonna have to go bloop. Y'all said 3.5 hours. Get off.
Okay.
Well, I enjoyed y'all. Thank y'all. Oh my gosh, so much. We got to do this again. Invite some more friends. I think I got up to how many people?
100.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have a yoga class.
Oh.
I'm gonna have a yoga class. Dang on it.
I'm ready for it.
You ready for it, Mason?
On deck.
Look, and I did children, Mason. I did children yoga, so you're gonna have to round up the little children too, so we can do it with the children too.
Okay, but I was planning on coming there doing it live and then cooking the meals.
Come and do it. We're gonna do it live. Yeah, but then
I like food.
Then we can do it. Yeah, come and we'll do it live, and then we'll get when you get the children together down there, because I taught children yoga too. So we'll get them ready because they need to know meditation and breath work, you know, and get in touch and alignment with their chi and their prana, their life source.
The snake,
Yep.
the lion,
The cobra.
animal,
Yep.
yeah.
We got to get in it. We got to get in it, y'all. We got to get with it. Thank y'all so
And
much.
the Cinderella story.
Yeah. Yes. I'm so glad Madame here, Wendy here, Corinne here, Emmanuel was here, you know, and man, this is what it's about. We got to build it. We got to build virtual for the time being. Then long as we're building, you know, we can build virtual and we can build in person in real life, you know, and really get things out done in our community. And that's what we're supposed to be doing, you know, building not just on virtual platform, you know, like we talking to robots or nothing. No, we need to build in real life too, because this is real life conversations we're having, you know. And like I said, with those books, I hope everybody got a chance to look at those books. And that tells you about intimacy and sacredness in a union, and not just going into it from the, you know, the wrong side up, and going from the mind and not, you know, between the lower parts of the body, because you got to make sure you're compatible and it's a connection there. And that's the disconnect, because nobody was making sure there was an actual connection. You know, it's like Madame said, you do it for the lineage, the tribe, the clan. You know what this was about, can marry this one. Well, we see how we was all fooled and bamboozled. We didn't look at it that way because we wasn't taught that way. And that's why we just got further and further away from the way we were supposed to be going. And so now everybody trying to come back to the right path that we're all supposed to be on individually before we got derailed and sidetracked with all the worldly distractions. those fleshly things, huh?
Once we wake up, it's over.
Yep, for real.
With the rap music, I mean, but we got to look at the frequency that it was being played on. They changed the frequency.
Yep.
And changed it, and they changed it from the vinyl, which starts out as clear, but it don't get no meaning until you make it black and put some music on it.
Right. Yep. Yep.
We just need
that 440. Yeah, that 440 and that 808. That 808.
You mentioned that vinyl with that copper needle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The diamond needle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Went to the diamond, made it a lot better, but it takes copper in the middle to make us hear all of it.
Wow.
It's more vibration, and that copper, you know about it, Kim. It's better than anything.
Yeah, with Hillary.
That conductor. That's a conductor. That's why. That's a conductor. And we got copper in our bodies, but we have such a low amount. That's why we're not activated. That's why we're disconnected, because the copper is put in a whole lot of stuff. Watches, iPads, stuff people don't even know copper is in, and it's in our bodies. And that's why chlorophyll, chlorella, and spirulina activates that copper.
What they're going to now is gold, because we used to eat gold. Gold is a mineral.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. It's a guy down here, y'all, started off on IG that put sprinkles of gold on a steak for you to eat, and that steak cost about $1,000.
I'm going to make some.
And he started out local doing it, and now this dude is putting little sprinkles of gold on the steak so you can eat the gold. Gold flakes.
They sell the artificial strips on Amazon.
Huh?
They have an artificial. They sell the artificial flakes, the strips on Amazon.
Wow.
So, mushrooms have more health benefits than any medicine that they have been producing. Maitake is what I just found. So imagine me making a meal. I'm a chef too. I'm a massage therapist. I'm a human being. I'm a human being.
See that? But you're doing right, because a man should know how to massage. A woman should know how to massage. You should know how to tend to stuff, like you said, in case the woman get down. You know, I remember raising, when I got sick with bugs and stuff, when I was down, I had to take care of all 3 of my children and was married while I was sick. Still did everything. That's our resilience.
And it's not fun.
And it's not fun. So that's why
that's the next thing we do. We have sick houses where when the women are on their cycle, they go to the house, the women take care of them. They send a woman to the man take care of him while she's at the sick house.
Wow.
I guess that's not happening here. Yeah.
Nope. We don't have nothing.
You're not cooking and cleaning and all that. You're resting.
Which you're supposed to be resting, because activity make it flow more.
Mm-hmm. All right, Mom, I have to go. I have to throw these children in the bathtub.
Okay.
So I'm going to head out.
All right. Bye. Toodles. Thank you, Kiana. Appreciate you.
Bye. Good night.
But yeah, y'all. See, that's why everybody needs to know how to nurture and cultivate, because that's how you step in. Hey, bye, baby. Where you at? Oh, I don't see him. I hear him. Hey, bye. Go get your little tub. Go get your little tub. Bye, Kiana. All right. So yeah, that's why there was no. That's only when you need to share the duties, and that way you don't miss nothing as a family. So I see where that comes in and where that should be. You know, not that it's going to make you less of a man. It makes you more of a man, because you can still keep the family unit going. If the wife got sick, and if the husband got sick, she would take care of him and still keep the family going. So that's where you would know the balance of, when to step in and when not. But if you don't have to and it don't come to that, then good. It don't do that. But you still need to know how to culture and nurture. You know, throw a couple of remedies together and make a pot of soup or something.
Right. Just a mother or the father to die, we need to learn how to take them roles.
Yep. Well, this day and time, they don't even want to change a tire and get their hands dirty.
I call AAA. I'm sorry.
Because people want to be in the corporation. They're not into doing no labor or trade. You know, I would stay on my sons about changing my tire, and they huff and puff. I'd be like, boy, both of y'all get out there and change that damn tire. I'm not changing it. You know, you supposed to know how to change this tire.
Yeah, I pay insurance. They ready to come and get this month.
They can come and get it when I need them to come get it when it's cold.
Otherwise, I know how to do it. But I'm paying this insurance. They gonna come in. I'm gonna get my money.
That's different, but I know when you was little, you knew how to change a tire, though, Mason.
I still do.
I'm talking about these growing up today. Don't even know. They don't even know. They don't have no trade. They don't know to do the things that men do because, you know, no daddies or whatever, or the mama's doing it all, or finding somebody else to do it, and the young sons are not being taught. You know, I have to tell my sons when we in the car, get out and pump that gas, go pay. And they used to huff and puff for a while, and then all of a sudden I'd be like this, card. I just hit card, go in there, pump it, and I'm sitting my butt in the car. But see, they gotta be trained and reintroduced to that because they've gotten lazy or not been taught by daddies that didn't do that chivalry stuff, right? And so they don't know. I walk with my son, they walk with me, I make him get on the right side of me. You supposed to be on this side. One day he looked at me and said, "Oh, you want me to get hit?" Yeah.
Yes.
I sure do want you to get hit first. You know, jokingly, but yeah. You're supposed to protect. You're supposed to protect the woman and the child. So you walk on the outside.
That's right.
I don't care if I'm your mama. You still get your butt on the outside. I protected you. Now you protect me.
Man, woman, child.
There you go. In that order. And that's saving the youth right there. That's saving the youth right there. Man, woman, and child. That's saving. In all those gangster movies, y'all, what did we see? The man ran and hid the child, right? The bloodline. And the woman would usually end up getting killed with the what? The husband. If she didn't get away. They would go together and the child would live to go through the bloodline. Like Colombiana with Zoe Saldana. That happened, I believe, in that movie with her, Colombiana, where her mom and dad got killed and then she went on that revenge. When she got older and realized they killed her mom and dad, and she went after the mafia man that killed them because her daddy hit her and told her the escape route. So that's the order: the man, the woman, the child. And sometimes it's the woman and the child, sometimes it's the woman and the child, and it's the man. But it'll show you the order in some of the movies, in those little Al Pacino type movies and stuff.
Colombiana.
Yeah, Colombiana with Zoe Saldana. That's a good movie.
That's on my list. I just wrote it down.
Oh, see it, you're gonna be like, heck yeah. You know, of course they Hollywooded it up with her little old self, but she went kicking butt. She went kicking butt and was raised.
The Black Wall Street.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's life.
So, and the movies speak a lot about the order of the family in a lot of these mafia movies, even though they be about killing, but you can always tell in Scarface and Training Day and all the gangster movies, they respected the woman. They really did respect the woman and the children, regardless of what bad they were doing out there. They respected the place of the woman or the grandmother or the mother that lived with them in the house. If you go back and look, they all was like doing weird stuff out in the street, but they always protected the child, the mother, or the grandmother that was in that house. Or the wife. They didn't leave them out there hanging to dry. And the bodyguards did too. The bodyguards even protected them. You know, so it's interesting. It's really like on Fast and the Furious. They did the same thing. Family is spirit. It's the spiritual connection. It's family. Not so much sometimes the blood connection. It's the spiritual connection that you have with people too. Because you have an earth family and you have a spiritual family. You know, meaning kindred souls, your souls and your spirits drive with harmony, you know, between each other. So it goes like both ways. It's good you can still get along with family, but you still like we're kindred spirits. We might have made this contract before we even came in here to be here today. And that's why we're all here today. Because we made this contract before we even got here that says we're going to meet up, we're going to be on this is what's going to be happening in the world, and we're going to come on and we're going to do this here. And we're going to start talking about the positive things in families instead of just the bad things about dating and family. Because it starts with family. You got to fix yourself first because you are the family. You're an extension of the family. You know, so it's beautiful that we all here. You want to say something, Corinne?
Oh, I was listening. I was just taking care of my father, who is 83, going back to, we just don't throw them in the nursing home. You know, we take care of them. And so I was just getting him all situated for the night.
See there, that's what Madame was talking about earlier. We got to get back to that. That's that village thing. And that's why the kids are disconnected from the grandma stories right there. That's why they don't know nothing about grandmas and what grandma went through and grandpa went through, you know, because they just not in touch with them. Not in touch with them enough. So, all right, y'all, we going to call it a night. I know y'all got to go. And I'm going to see how we end this thing. So, thank you, everybody. Peace, love, and light and harmony. Once again, thank you, YouTube, for listening. Hope y'all can take something away from all this as well to use in your communities or around you. Start a blog, start a podcast, start something. Just start. Just do it. So thanks again once, everybody. Peace, love, and light. Bye-bye. Good night. All right there. Up. See y'all later, YouTube. Hope y'all enjoyed.